Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself. But go f*** yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
But we're told that we don't like any of this because we're misogynists. We just don't like this stuff because we're women. And the only reason we're unhappy about the Ray movie coming out, because, guys, did you hear the Ray movie was canceled and uncanceled? Did you hear that?
Dre, you heard that too, right?
I did hear it.
Wait,
I did hear it.
What did I do?
You said because we're women.
We hate it because we're women.
Okay. I said it. All right. Yeah, I see. Now Ariel just arrived, and she's going to make sure that I remember that.
Yes, we didn't want it to come out like this, but Adam is in fact trans. He's coming out of the closet. Him and Jeremy are in a relationship. It's time.
It's still there. It's still there.
I didn't say that.
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores.
Liar! No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to another round table where it's just the three musketeers today. Dragon Lady is visiting family, and she has bad Wi-Fi there, so she is not going to join us this week. And that's okay because family is what's important in life. I hate my family. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we got a good show for you guys today. There are a lot of things just kind of happened this week, and they're all interesting depending on what angle you go at them. And we've all talked about them in some way, shape, or form, and it's now going to be an interesting conversation as we delve into it and share our collective thoughts. Before that, let's say hello to the boys. Jed, hi.
Hi.
I got nothing. I got no weird.
You got nothing. All right. Well, I am excited to be here today because we have a lot of Witcher news and Doctor Who news, which are my two primary expertise. So I'm ready. I've got things to contribute this time. So let's get to it.
You always contribute. You're
I can make shit up even if I don't know anything about X-Men 97.
Yeah. Dre, how's that going?
It is going very well.
Okay.
How much is
all
left?
right. 3 episodes.
So with the 6th episode just passed, was 4 more episodes to go.
Okay.
It's going
is
stunningly well.
Okay, so looks like I have to. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Jay, you weren't here. It looks like I might have been wrong with all the stuff, but I'm going to attribute that to the same things I said about why I was mostly wrong about the Fallout stuff. If these people just keep their mouths shut before their stuff releases, let your work speak for itself. We don't need Bo DeMayo going out saying I made this through the lens of a gay black man. We didn't need that.
Yeah, that was completely unnecessary because. Man, I mean, it's
then what am I going to say? Then I got nothing to say. Then I have to sit and wait till it comes out. And I wouldn't have watched it anyway, but you were going to watch it either way, and you would have said, "Hey, this is good."
Yeah.
No, instead we spent 3 weeks talking about Bo DeMayo as a gay black man who has an OnlyFans where he flexes all the time, and now I look like an idiot for complaining about it, but I can own up to it and say, "Oh, I was wrong," because the product is spoken for itself, according to Dre. But why do they have to talk? That's my biggest thing. Why do they have to talk? I don't understand that.
Arrogance and psychopaths. The same old.
Either way, Jay, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Very, very well. Last week, of course, I wasn't here because I was at Big Lit Comic-Con. It was
What's it called? Big Lick. Big
You
lick.
heard it. You heard
I
it.
heard
Big
it right. I was sure I heard it wrong.
We're all perverted here. We hear these things and go, whoa.
Yeah, exactly the way it sounds, exactly the way it's spelled. That's exactly what it is. Big Lick Comic Con, and at Dulles, at the Dulles Expo Center, it was a resounding success.
I wanted to get out there, but goddamn Fallout.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It was a resounding success. Like
Mhm.
I didn't know how well this con was gonna go, but my lord, because I've never done this con before, and this was such a good time, such a good experience. Sold a ton of books, sold a ton of soundtracks. Like, it went over so well. I was not expecting that weekend to go so well, and the owner was so good to me and letting me do whatever I wanted, pretty much. And it was so good. It was so good. It was a tremendous weekend. So I'm definitely doing that event next year again.
Cool.
So I'm very excited. So it went so well. I could not be more excited. It was so well.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you had a good time. And I want to ask you this: you didn't get your did you get a chance to watch Fallout at all?
Yes, I watched it this week.
All right. What do you think? Because since you didn't get a chance to express your thoughts, I want to give you a chance to express your thoughts on it.
Sure. So I'm very glad that they went with an original story. And then just taking elements of all the different games, and just trying to it was pretty much a commercial. The whole joint was like a commercial of
That's
hey,
fair.
go check out Fallout.
Oh, look what it did. Look what it's done. It is Fallout games. The purchasing, the play hour, it's skyrocketed. Everybody's streaming it. Only reason I'm not streaming is because I don't feel like it, and I didn't get. I felt the draw a little bit, but the draw to play Final Fantasy 14 and next week Stellar Blade, that's a bigger draw for me.
Yeah, of course. So as far as like the story and things were concerned, it was okay, but the ghoul was clearly the star.
Absolutely.
Of this story, and it was done very, very well. I liked it. I enjoyed what I was seeing. Did I feel like it was groundbreaking or anything like that? No, nothing like that. But it was like if I was sitting here, which I was sitting there playing Pokemon and having something in the background to glance up at, it was definitely that type of show. It's definitely a show I can recommend to be in the background, and or if you're a fan of the franchise, because it doesn't spit in the eye of anything. It just lets you just enjoy. It was like as if this was a different Fallout game altogether, and somebody just made a show about it.
That's what Todd said, is that it was Fallout 5, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, would it be? I said last week that essentially it's just a regular show.
Yeah,
sure.
With slight elements of the things we hate in it, but it didn't completely derail the show.
No, it didn't.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily like it or love it. I just think I feel as though it had come out 10 years ago. It just would have been there. Everybody would have watched it, and we all would have moved on. But it's turned into this massive discussion right now where people either love it, hate it, and in some cases, people have, and we talked about this last week, so I'm not going to rehash it completely. People are very angry if you don't completely love it, or they're very angry if you don't completely hate it. And there's very little room for middle ground, which is kind of where I fell on it. And I took a lot of heat with my initial review because I was treating it as an individual episode, not the entire series. I didn't watch it all and then review it. Now I had to, which is the reason I couldn't go hang out with Dre on Sunday last week. I had to get that first. I had to get the remaining 3 to 8 done. So I had to watch remaining episodes, or 4 to 8 done. No, 3 to 8 done. And then I had to just put out one blanket take, because in a week, we're not going to be talking about this anymore.
No. It's not gonna. It's not gonna hold. It's not that type of show. It's not a show that's gonna be.
But here's the thing. So it's not in the title today, but it's something that I do want to talk about because we touched on it last week, and now that Dre's here, I want to really dive into it some more.
Sure.
Binge versus weekly. I mean, as content creators, we want weekly.
Yes.
As customers, and I hate to say the word, but it's appropriate, as customers and consumers, of course, we want to watch something in one go.
Yes.
which I do for anime, but I don't have to review anime, so I wait patiently till it's all done. And in some cases, for some shows, I will wait patiently for them to stack up. But for the health of a franchise, and this is where I stand on this, I think overall, you don't need to you don't need binge drop as batch drops. I think they should go away, because when it's something that could build momentum, like Fallout could have built massive momentum if it had been on for 8 weeks, or let's say 7 weeks, if they had done the original 2-episode drop like they were planning. They could have built up a lot of momentum. It would have created discussion from episode to
It would have become a water cooler show. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Water coolers.
So there would have been a lot of discussion, and at that moment, it would have been entertaining every week. I mean, the whole plan had been we were going to watch it because, Dre, you've been actually involved with the IP. Jed, you also have played the games. I've played at least one game, and we were going to have Dermy come on because Dermy loves those games. He was going to come on and join us every week to talk about it, and it would have generated interesting conversations. But now, not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening. So how do we feel about binge versus weekly?
For me, it depends. And like as from a customer standpoint, yes, absolutely. Give me all of it. Give me all of it so I can sit there and enjoy it. Yeah. But at the same time, when that model was created pretty much by Netflix, when that model was created, the quality of these shows were out of control good. We're talking like Daredevil and all those other great shows that Netflix was dropping left and right because they were tremendous, because people were just going to keep talking about them. Like, we're still talking about Daredevil now, a decade later, because these shows, the quality of these shows were so good that they knew that was going to carry on forever. The qualities of shows, however, over the last 5 to 6 years, 9 times out of 10 have been hot garbage, and they don't have that type of retention anymore. So when you actually have a show that's actually good, that's actually worth a weekly revisit, the studios usually don't have confidence in it because of the
I posed this. No. But I posed this last week. They batch dropped this, which turns out to just be a regular old show.
Yeah.
Yet they weeklied, and we're talking Amazon, they weeklied Rings of Power.
Yep.
They weeklied Waste of Time, Wheel of Prime.
Yeah.
Except for the initial 2-3 episode drop.
They are experimenting with the binge drop, so I'm hoping for season 2 of Rings of Power they might try to do the binge route with that.
Dude, it'll be a 24-hour This Is Mordor Country. We can't do that. We cannot do that.
I know, but my sanity needs it all at once. But
my channel needs it weekly.
It's true. The channels will absolutely do it better with weekly. But I just want to insert here and say I'm really glad we got Dre on here to talk about Fallout, because yes, he does have expertise in it. I'm really glad to see he came out with a normal review of it, like I think we did. A very mediocre show, enjoyable for some people, not for others, depending on your taste. And I was worried that he was going to be one of those people, which I have seen, giving it 9 and 10s out of 10, which is just baffling to me.
I gave it 7 out of 10 last week.
No, it's like if I had to give it a number, I'll give it a 7, because I really like the ghoul story. And the secret of the vaults were interesting, but I thought the payoff to the vault was lame. That's
my biggest problem. And so, both straight, I hated that they took away the good dad storyline. I hate that they took that away.
I mean, come on.
I know. Now, they didn't make him bad dad. I mean, because you understand that they did it for casual.
He was still a good dad, but yeah, they took that storyline.
They took it away from me, and that bugs me that they took that away from me, because I was praising that in the first episode. That hey, we had a good dad, but so
But getting back to a binge versus weekly, I was on Geeks and Gamers Daily this last week talking about it with Jeremy and Beardo, and I think there's a point of discussion that we had is this this difference between what the customer wants, the consumer wants. I think that's a big distinction. We hate being called consumers, and it's definitely more the consumer mentality to do the binge model. And yes, personally, if I were just watching a show, I of course want the binge model, but there has to be this balance of healthy for the show is good for the customer as well, healthy for the franchise. And so I think it's ultimately better for the customer, better even for the consumer for the weekly, because that makes a healthier show, which means you get more of the show you love, and you can get it sooner as well. These binge drop shows, most of them we get every 2 to 3 years season wise. But with the weeklies, people were able to very easily keep up with yearly seasons back in the day.
Because
yearly
it's an
seasons are
original
virtually
production
gone.
schedule. It's like, oh, hey, okay, because the original network television show, they would start basically filming episodes 2 to 3 months before the premiere. And then as everything's going, they're still filming episodes before the season's over. It's not as though they're rushing to get all this stuff done before it. It also, I think, is connected to the whole fact that there's the crazy production values of everything these days, especially because most of these things we're watching and talking about are genre right now. A lot of them are genre, which means they have a lot of CGI, a lot of stuff, a lot of specs.
Well, shows back in the day, genre shows also had a lot of these constraints, but still managed to do it. I mean, for the 80s, how much CGI was, or I mean, the equivalent, the special effects was required for Star Trek: The Next Generation. There was an insane amount of effects needed for that show to release on a weekly basis, and they managed it easily.
But do you know where they farmed that out to? Because I've been watching TNG. I'm in season 3, and I'm watching the credits because I let it all run because it's beautiful. Do you know where they farmed their special effects out to back in the day?
I do not. No.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Really?
They farmed it
They're
out to
always
Lucasfilm.
the best. ILM is always the best.
They farmed it out to Lucasfilm. How do you like that?
Why
I didn't know
so
that.
Good.
Yeah, that's why in the remaster stuff, it's so nice and clean now because it was already looking good, and now just clean up so you don't see that little white square behind the Enterprise or Bird of Prey. Now, that was the quality, and that speaks to some of the stuff we're going to talk about today when we get to the other topics. Is the quality, the competency of the production companies back in the day. Lucasfilm, when it was its own entity, ILM was the gold standard. They were the top of the food chain when it came to special effects because they hired the best of the best and they put in the time and the effort. They didn't rush it. They didn't crunch it. And they innovated. They innovated and they made, we've talked about this many times. 1977, Star Wars special effects, that changed special effects forever. Everything after that, things that year in genre, like Logan's Run, looked like child fan film. Now, I'm not shitting on Logan's Run. I own it. No, it's right there. It's a good movie.
Just, New Hope has aged so well that it still looks incredible today. Whereas you look at another sci-fi film like Logan's Run, looks like it's from 20 years before A New Hope.
So you have to understand, ILM was where you went. And it's funny. Star Trek went to Star Wars for their special effects.
I love that.
Funny. It's funny, and that doesn't exist anymore, and that's why these companies, and I'll say Disney, they dump so much money into stuff because the people actually who are hired to do this stuff are not trained enough, and they're not competent enough. So that's why you have to keep dumping tons of money into it. You got to do reshoots. You got to hustle, do it, and you get She-Hulk.
Oh, God.
We're actually going to talk about it when we get to the Doctor Who stuff, but his the idea of mediocrity being a valuable trait is insane. But they're not hiring. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was disagreeing with you, Jed. Yeah, mediocrity being the dish not best served cold out here. It's it's just what it is. And just to wrap, one of the thoughts I had was just, if the studio believes that the show is going to have some staying power, I think they should release it weekly. That's my opinion. Like, for instance, like X-Men 97, this was a perfect show to release weekly. I'm actually glad.
Look what's happened.
Well, that's the thing with word of mouth. Yeah, FOMO is something I talked about on the Geeks and Gamers stream, is people can resist FOMO for a week or two, and then these binge shows are gone. It's much more difficult to resist FOMO over the course of several months. On that stream, we had tons of people in the chat saying, yeah, there was this show I had no hope for whatsoever, like X-Men 97, but because there was consistent positive discourse about it for months at a time, weeks, they eventually checked it out and realized that they loved it. And there's so many examples of that. House of the Dragon is a great one. If that had been binge dropped, no one would have talked about it for very long.
And Dre, because you weren't here last week, that was the last week I brought up the conversation that it's okay to be wrong, but I've been wrong about several things, X-Men 97 seemingly included. But talk about weekly impact, that episode of 97 from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the death episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
For the whole week, it was everywhere. It's all people were talking about.
Yep.
It's an event. Event television exists only with weekly. And another thing I talked about on that stream is the idea of fan theories have gone out the window. I don't know if any of you guys were watching Game of Thrones weekly when it was initially coming out, but there were so many people theorizing, all right, the next episode, is this going to happen? People making videos about it, people talking with their friends. Just the fan theory community cannot exist in a binge model, not like it did on the weekly model. And then you build up to a finale and you're shocked by the finale. You can't do that anymore. Breaking
But once
Bad.
again, Jed, you're talking about quality. Now, granted, I was no fan of Game of Thrones. Never have, never will be.
Of course, quality is the chief.
And that's the thing. And think about it's quality and longevity. Like we were talking like minutes ago, we're talking about TNG and shows from yesteryear. Those jumps were running 20, 24 episodes.
I missed those.
A season. These shows nowadays are 8. Okay, they're 8
every
episodes.
2 years.
Yes, so it's like yo, if you're gonna drop the binge model, if you put it all out there, and then you're gonna have somebody wait 2 or 3 years, your show has to be dynamite. But that's not a thing. So these weekly shows, they have to drop them weekly. It's their only chance. Because if you're telling me I got 8 weeks to not only create a fan base or maintain it or draw people in, it has to be good. Because I'm not writing until the joint is done.
Okay, so you guys have brought up several points that I want to wrap up. Now, I've heard the counter argument to why weekly isn't always going to be good. Ahsoka and all the Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Well, here's my counter to that. 1, they're not good.
Yeah.
Period.
And to Jed's point, no fan theories. The Stan theories, when they talk, it's retarded. It's all retarded because it's based on their own garbage.
It's always gay sex.
Well, not even that. Remember with Ahsoka, the Marok theory? Oh my God, is it really Ezra? Is it Star Killer?
Who that guy was, and
he was a literal fart. He was a literal fart. But their theories are retarded. But then there's the other thing. You mentioned it. Quality. If something is good, there will be conversations on a weekly basis. If it's not good, of course there won't be.
Yeah.
The only reason we talked about Ahsoka was because it was garbage, not because it was good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, yeah, people just keep forgetting our arguments and try to make it about something it's not. Of course, if we support the weekly model, the most important thing about any television show's success in any conversation is its quality. Of course, that's going to be the number one discussion point. But when it's talking about the effects of the binge versus the weekly near always has a more positive influence on it. And I think that just gets lost in some of these conversations because you can bring up Disney Star Wars like, well, that was weekly and it was bad. Yes,
because
quality of the show is the most important thing. We've never said anything otherwise.
Exactly.
And the one of the ultimate examples of a successful binge drop show, Cobra Kai. It is great. Everybody loves it. Everybody had a good time. But imagine if it was week to week.
It could be so much better.
But that's the gamble, and I think that's where the rubber meets the road. Is the ultimate gamble because the old model for those of yesteryear before streaming, it was you better have your TV guide ready and be able to be at your couch at that time, and you can have those moments. But when streaming became a thing, I'm sorry, Adam, go.
No, sorry, I jumped in. I was trying to time it, thinking you were done. Go ahead, finish.
Okay, yeah, But once streaming became the main way people started consuming, thanks to Netflix and to a lesser extent Hulu, that was like, hey, give me everything. I love the idea of binge watching. Give me the whole show, the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And people will still talk about it because to Jed's point, the shows were on point. The quality was there. Now, fast forward, the quality's not there and the model doesn't work anymore in order to get things going. Go ahead, Adam. You're chomping. Go for it.
There's 2 points I want to make on what you just said. One,
go.
You mentioned that the gamble part. It's a gamble the first time out. So Cobra Kai, gamble. When it was on YouTube, gamble. Put it all out there, whatever. But then Netflix picks it up. They know they've got gold.
Mm.
Now switch to weekly, or maybe
Agreed.
2 episodes, because it was a 30-minute show. You could do 2 episodes a week and get
Sure.
a full hour. Switch. You know you got gold, and then you're now 5, 6. We're going into season 6. They could have changed it, and every time Cobra Kai comes out, we are all happy. We're having a good time, but we can't really talk about it for a week or more until everybody's had time to see it. That is the ultimate Achilles heel of the binge model. You cannot talk about it until you've given people a chance to see it. One Piece would have been even bigger if they had done it week to week. And I do not buy I needed 2 episodes to get into it. I don't buy that, because if you were interested in watching it, a second episode that night, I'm going to argue you would have come back next week to give it a chance still. I'm going to argue that.
I think 2 episode drop is a very fair middle
premiere.
For a premiere.
I think so.
Yeah.
For a premiere. But One Piece is a great example of it, because if it happened weekly, a lot of people were very hesitant about One Piece going into it because there had been so many bad live actions, especially at Netflix in recent years. So of course people were like, oh yeah, this will just be another bad piece of shit. But the word of mouth was so phenomenal that people watched it and it was a success. Imagine if that word of mouth had snowballed. The snowball effect is a very important thing when it comes to television. After, I don't know, 8-10 weeks, I can't remember how many episodes
it would have been 8 weeks.
8 weeks. After 8 weeks, can you imagine how much the word of mouth would have built up and made a phenomenon? And people always point to Netflix as like, oh, if the binge model didn't work, how is Netflix the #1 streamer? Well, Netflix themselves are trying to go away from the binge model on their successful shows like Stranger Things season 4. They're still starting to split it up into 2 or 3 pieces, spreading it out over time, because they realize that consistent momentum, that building up, that snowball effect is valuable. That continued existence in the zeitgeist over several months increases the value of their show. Stranger Things Part 2 of season 4 was massively successful, way more than it would have been if just season 4 had dropped all at once.
I
They're
agree.
doing that for their good shows, their bad shows. Witcher season 3 did the same thing. They're starting to do 3 parts. Some things are getting closer and closer to weekly, even at Netflix. If Netflix, your hallmark, your gold standard for the binge model, is experimenting with going away from the binge model, you know it's not what it's all cracked up to be.
Yeah.
And what you just said, Jed, you stole the words right out of my mouth. I was about to actually mention Stranger Things season 4. Breaking it up into 2 parts was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant by every stretch of the imagination, because they gave us, I think it was 4 and then 4.
It was something like that. It was
I don't think it was even, but it was something like that. I think doing it that way, because like Adam was saying about like having to wait a week for everybody to see anything and all that stuff, it literally removed that shroud of waiting a week for everybody to watch all 8 or 10 or 12 episodes. Like literally, you can sit there for an evening, watch all 4 episodes, and then talk about what's coming up next. So I think a hybrid model like that, I think that would pay dividends. But I think that only works for established franchises that's already making it rain.
Yeah.
Like if House of the Dragon, I mean, they're doing weekly. I'm pretty sure House of the Dragon.
It's because it's also being aired on HBO.
HBO, right? So but if let's say Cobra Kai did that. Let's say dropped the first 4 episodes, then it went on a hiatus and went for another 4. I think that would be pay dirt. I think it'll be the best of both worlds. I think it will work really well.
It all comes down to what people are willing to accept. And that's the other part of this conversation that I think needs to be had, is that we are living in a society that's run by TikTok minds that need instant gratification. And they're not the ones who keep franchises alive or have purchasing power, because they can't pay attention for more than 20 seconds. So they need everything instantly. Otherwise, their pea brains go, there's no logical reason to appeal to these people. You appeal to the people that are going to be there forever. That once you earn their trust and keep giving them quality stuff, be there. And that is what the weekly does. A weekly drop builds a fan base. A weekly drop allows people to talk about it, engage about it, be excited for it. Now, one of the reasons I don't, as a customer, like to watch things on a weekly basis, because I do not like the wait. I can admit that my little lizard TikTok brain doesn't like that, but I can take everything and put it aside and wait patiently, and then do it my own way. But when it comes to actually engaging with people, it's because look what I have to do right now in a lot of ways. When it comes to discussions of several series that people are either catching up on or this and that, I have to wait. I have to be careful, not do spoilers, because I don't believe in spoilers. And I just completely lost where I was going with that. Okay, never mind. Going. Wow, went right out of my head.
That's less difficult.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
I think I was going on a completely different tangent that had nothing to do with what we were going to talk about. All right, so I'm gonna hard stop, reset. Weekly is stronger, I think, for overall health. Like Jed said, it's stronger for building a fan base, and it is important for, I would say, relevance. Because when you do something that's a batch drop and you wait years for it, I'm gonna bring up Cobra Kai again. Is Cobra Kai relevant in this moment?
No, not right now.
It'll be relevant in about 3, 4, 5 months when they usually do a December or November drop, because it's done. Season 6 is coming out this year. They've announced that. I'm going to assume it's in September. When it comes out, it's relevant, but in between that, it's not. But now let's talk.
It doesn't help how long are in between the seasons, and that's a problem even with some weekly shows like House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon has the same problem. It got done sooner than Rings of Power.
Well, you got to remember the House of the Dragon season 2 was mired by the strikes. The strikes do make things more difficult, but even still, it's near the original release date anyway. No, it isn't.
It was November. That's less than 6 months.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, all these shows that go on, as you've been saying, these yearly waits between everything, they lose their relevancy. Whereas the old school method, things are only irrelevant for June, July, October. I'm sorry, June, July, August. God damn it. June, July, August until September, October, when the premiere season starts. They used to start on network television. And then there's relevancy for the next 7 months. And people, and the thing is, it wasn't even really irrelevancy during those 3 months, because for more often than not, shows were left on cliffhangers, or they were built up to the next story you're going to get next season, and we're all sitting there waiting with anticipation. When you wait for 2, sometimes 3 years between a show, the anticipation goes away. I will argue it goes away because you're interested in other things in between.
Yep.
And sometimes, perfect example, and now in this case, I'm kind of glad that I didn't finish it. I liked Reacher season 1. I thought it was fun. It was a batch drop, and I watched it. And then I watched the 3-episode dump of season 3. But then I thought, you know what? They're doing weekly now. I'm just gonna wait. I'm not reviewing it, so I can take my time. I'll watch all together so I get the complete story. And I hadn't gotten around to it yet. But then Alan Richardson had to shoot his mouth off the other week. And wait, you know what? Now I'm completely done because the relevancy is over. And I think the relevancy for a lot of people is done because we're back to what we're talking about before. People got to talk out of their goddamn asses. And it kills the relevancy of a show. It kills the relevancy of an IP, either outside interference or the fact that you took too long. And there is something to be said about, as you guys have mentioned, keeping tapped into the zeitgeist. Some things become forever zeitgeist and they'll always be relevant. And then some things have that momentary pop and then they're gone because they take too long. And when the in-between, you get the instance of people who shouldn't be talking and ruining the anticipation. That's where I was going with that. When you outside factors interfere, anticipation gets destroyed. And if you're a person like me who can go cold turkey on shit, I will walk away and you will never see my ass again on this shit. So I think we're all pretty kumbaya on this, though.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. No dissension here. No dissension here. All right. Since we jumped right into a topic, let's say hi to the chat. They've been commenting all the way along. But let's say hi to everybody. The crowd is here. Hell, Both the Legatus Legionist and Algrim the Strong, my mods, my regulars here to keep the peace and sometimes be my personal trolls. Hail to you, Ruben X. How are you? Hail, Frank Blaskowitz. How are you? Hail, Masquerade. Going on down. Hey, Static. How are you? Howdy, Kale. Huzzah, it's the son of Joxer. Going on. Hail, J.O. Fraser 360, who agrees. Weekly greater than binge. Hello, Jaden Hamilton, young man serving our country or getting ready to. Going on down. Anybody else that I missed? And all right, I think that's everybody that is talking. And if you're here joining us, hit that like button. Whether you're chatting or not, we're happy to have you here on what is always a busy Sunday afternoon. Now that FNT Vegas is gone, the Sunday activity is back at full strength. So if you're choosing to join us, we thank you for it, whether you're talking in the chat or not. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Show's already underway because we dive right into a topic. But now let's go to the stated topics. We've got the week started with the revelation, thanks to Forbes. Even though I think there's some questionable accuracy with their metrics for their numbers, the numbers are still there. They are numbers, hard numbers that Disney Star Wars lost billions. B with a B. Billions.
You know, right when I saw that, Joe, I was like, "Oh, I know Adam's doing backflips."
Oh yeah,
right now.
It's what we've been saying for years. But anytime some stan comes after us, like, but they may balk the box office. We're like, here's a source that you respect and believe is true that is corroborating our math that we've had for years. So it's more just like, hey, we have someone you respect agreeing with us. So it's very helpful.
We're gonna get into that. I covered a video, but I want our thoughts to be aired on this because this is Victory Lap is what it was. Then Doctor Who cares? Goddamn Shooty Gotla. He starts the week talking about twerking and he ends it with white mediocrity.
So yeah, Dre, you're the target audience. Do you want to see Shooty Gotla twerking to defeat a villain and save the universe?
I'm gonna share something with y'all. The first time I saw twerking in my life was from the Wu-Tang Clan. And there was some fine broads from around the block that were dropping it low for dollar bills. Ever since then, I knew the only people I wanted to see twerking was fine women. Ain't no dude twerking for me.
But Dre, he's gay and black.
Oh, that's even worse. They're going the wrong direction.
He's gonna do it in a dress.
Oh, of course.
Dresses a lot. Yeah, those costumes, Adam, from those screenshots are real costumes, like that golfer.
Wait. The wrong Warren Quick. Because I when I saw this video, when I saw that drop, because we've got the article from Empire, which that stems from, and then we got the other articles. I asked everybody quickly, is that a kilt or a skirt? Because
that one is real from one of these 2 seasons, and then the other one, his white golfer suit. Those are both real costumes he'll have from those 2 seasons.
I wanted to make sure it was an actual kilt before I said make fun of it, but everybody said, yeah, it's a kilt, but he's wearing it wrong. So
the one he wore in the Christmas special was a kilt worn wrong, so it becomes a skirt. But the one from that image that just came out, that's not a kilt.
People told me it was a kilt. I asked to make sure. So
it's split. There's a split in it. There's no checkered pattern, and there's no whatever.
All right, so we're to look at it. I'm going to torture that
piece in the front.
So we've got Doctor Who, and then I had to talk about this because I know Dre had thoughts on it too. Even use a voice clip of my oh no. Transformers 1 dropped a surprise trailer a couple days ago, and 90% of sane people went, "What the hell is this?" So we're gonna go over that, and we can watch it because I didn't get a claim, so we can go over it.
Yeah, no claim for it. No claim
at all. And then we've got Witcher news. I know it's amazing. They have some weird and, as Jed put it to me, creepy shit over there.
Very creepy shit.
Very creepy shit. Let's get let's get Transformers 1 out of the way. Let's start with that one, just because we're gonna be reacting to it. So the trailer dropped, and first of all, I don't begrudge Chris Hemsworth doing anything because he's got a serious Alzheimer's diagnosis and he's trying to make as much money as he can right now to provide for his family. So I'm not going to begrudge him choosing to do this, but he's not a good choice for Optimus Prime. none of them are good. None of them. These are some of them are actual known Hollywood stars. Some of them are this dude who we only know is annoying in everything he's in. And these people should not be voice acting.
What is with Chris Hemsworth's career the last decade outside of Thor? Even with the last couple Thor movies.
I don't know.
Like Ghostbusters, this Furiosa coming out.
I honestly, I really think somebody's offering him something at this point. He's going to take it to make the money to provide for his family if his Alzheimer's turns into what people think it might. I think it's a pure
that is
making
fair.
money.
Yeah, like as far as this is what I always say: if an actor's getting money. Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you right now: if these schmucks came to me and say, "Hey, Dre, I want you to be in this animated Transformers movie," will I be compensated? Yes, I'm in.
But here's the thing: I like Chris Hemsworth because he doesn't say anything. He promotes his products and then he just goes and spends time with his family. That's what he does. That's why he could go ahead and make all the bad movies you want.
Yeah, agreed.
And he doesn't shoot his mouth off because he's just that. He's just a dude.
The best Hollywood these days are the ones that you don't know their politics.
Precisely.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Now I'm going to skip over the 15 seconds of I don't need them talking about getting us ready for the movie. We don't need that. But now here we go.
So, how long do you think we'll be here? I'm not talking to you.
You know what? We are so screwed.
Thought you were.
I didn't talk about this aspect when I did my reaction earlier, my breakdown. I'd already seen it before I watched it. This is already a problem because it suffers the modern day vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Earth. This isn't 2024. In fact, if we understand knowing the real Transformers timeline, this is millions of years ago on Cybertron.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking like they're walking down the street in 2024. We are so screwed.
Gen Z dialogue ruins everything, immediately dates your product and ensures it will not be timeless.
Yeah.
But I have not seen this trailer yet. This is my first time watching it, and I don't know if this is an accuracy thing or is this correct. They look so feminine almost. Like they're so slender.
Bad. Their designs are bad. Like that's the first thing I know is it's funny. And we paused the exact same spot for our reviews. We paused the exact same spot. I said, yo, I don't like their designs.
Yeah.
At all. I'm like, it's not good.
Nope, it is not. And they're gonna. This is a prequel. Let's get into it. I'll stop on that when we get to it.
You weren't talking to me.
You two, come with me. Report to Waste Management.
Hi there. I'm E119. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one
Okay, Jed, get ready. Get ready.
I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
Who is that?
Bumblebee. That's Bumblebee.
Oh God. Dude, I don't like the Michael Bay movies. I like the first two, maybe. Like they're just not my thing. But there's a moment, and I think it's the last night where Bumblebee's voice modulator comes on for the first time, and he says this really sweet line to Optimus Prime, and I was like, that voice is perfect. I'd never heard his voice before. I was like, I love that voice. This is just sad. This is sad.
And Dre can corroborate this. It's this forced, and I'm using the word Gen Z humor, this forced MCU TikTok humor.
It is bizarre to me. It's bizarre because the bottom line is I don't know who their target demo is.
That's my biggest question. Who is this for?
I don't know. Because I don't know any kids that are into Transformers unless their parents are into Transformers. I don't.
And this isn't even Transformers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, who is this for?
They lost most of their kids after that, like, non-binary and Transformer TV show.
Yeah, they lost all the kids after that. Make no mistake. They lost all of them.
Yeah.
After whatever that freak mess was.
So you've got, and this humor is going to be throughout this whole trailer. Let's keep going. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, I hate when I do that.
We're going to call you B.
All right, so looking for is Optimus Prime. So it's It's a prequel. How do I feel about prequels, everybody? I hate them.
Burn him.
Dead end storytelling. There's no tension. There's no stakes. You know how it all ends. We know that he's going to become this retarded looking version of Optimus Prime. Because why do I see the Matrix? Why do I see his spark?
I don't know.
Well, prequels I think can be okay if they're dealing with non-known characters. Like if you're dealing with Optimus Prime, you obviously know where it's going to end up. But if you're like at Knights of the Old Republic, you don't know any of these characters, so there's still stakes.
Or it's a point in a IP's history that people want to see. Just show us this moment in the history.
It's so epic that you would need to see it.
We wanted to see the battle on Mustafar. We wanted to see the duel on Mustafar. We needed to see that. Now it should have been halfway through the movie, and then the rest of the movie should have been Vader. But we'll talk about that in 4 weeks. But prequels do not create fan base. In fact, it's a lame attempt to retain a fan base who's disinterested. Transformers is essentially a dead IP as far as new things go. Only people that care about it are the old school people who stick to the G1, G2.
I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform.
Yeah, that confused me too.
Yeah,
they can't transform.
Everybody could always transform. It's what they are.
I had to ask myself. I said, "Wait a minute, is there some lore that I don't know about?" Because, like, as far as I'm concerned, everybody can always transform.
Oh, it's going to be a classism movie. Like only the elites are allowed to transform. So we'll rise up and take the right to transform to the people.
Well, I kept thinking back to the G1 flashback episodes where the aerial bots get sent back in time to Cybertron before the Great War, when Optimus was Orion Pax, the origin of Optimus Prime. And we meet Alita 1, who I think that is right there. I think that's Alita 1. They never actually call her. They don't actually say it in the trailer. They never give her a name. They don't acknowledge that it's Alita 1. I'm guessing. If they say it's RC, I'm gonna go.
Oh, you know what? That could be RC.
I said Alita 1 in the trailer, but it looks like RC's head.
Yeah, because I think I said RC because RC's pink. Alita's red.
I don't. All I know is that if that's RC, then where's Alita 1? Why are we jumping to RC? Alita 1, Orion Pax's girlfriend. They actually I brought that up during the whole, they're all robots. They don't have genders. No,
yes, they do.
He actually says, this is Alita 1. She's my girlfriend, guys. You stay away from her now. In the actual episode, he says it. I got the clip and I put it in a video. This whole thing doesn't make sense, though, because in that flashback episode where the airbots go back in time, they all transform. And the only reason Orion Pax becomes Optimus because he got the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah,
he got annihilated, and oh god, what was his predecessor's name? Shit, Ultra Trion? No, Ultra Trion? No.
Yeah. Ultra Trion.
Ultra Trion rebuilds him.
Lost.
It's okay.
Hold on. Hold on. This is what it's like listening to us talk about Doctor Who.
Yes, probably. This is what it's like, Jed. Now you taste it.
I just got to say, do you guys understand how much shit I have up here that no matter what we talk about, I know all this garbage? Realize the nerd trash information that is stored up here. But he gets turned into Optimus Prime to battle Megatron, and they were never friends. They were never friends, and they weren't Bayformers brothers. They were not.
Well, now they're BFFs.
Adam, they're buddies, and so here we go. So, and this design is terrible. These open spark cavities, that's just a bad design, Dre.
All of this is bad.
Yes.
Don't you want to see what's out there? There's a reason no one goes to the surface. It's dangerous.
I feel as though they're setting up Megatron to be sympathetic.
Well, I don't their ambiguous villains and they're misunderstood. And
Megatron was a gladiator. What the heck is going on here?
And the Decepticons were the warrior class.
Which is so much gray. Isn't gray great, guys? Gray morality, gray lines, 50 Shades of Gray.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Why'd you bring jetpacks? If we survive this, I'm gonna kill you. I accept those terms.
Can I accept the terms that if we survive watching this, they'll never make another one again?
Oh,
I'll
they
accept those
will.
terms. Yeah, I know.
To spite you.
Oh no, this thing's. I gotta wonder when we get the budget for this, because this is, I believe, September release. I can't wait to cover the total lack of money this is going to make.
This joint's going to make about 37 cents
Mm-hmm.
total.
Do we know the budget yet?
Oh no,
Not
I don't
yet.
think so.
I don't think it's been released yet.
I mean, we got 6 months till this comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could imagine it nearly getting 200 million.
I mean, we'll probably get another trailer before then. We'll get another trailer. Okay, as we've all made fun of it, I really wish this insertion of famous songs in trailers would end.
Yeah.
Where's your soundtrack?
There is none.
I mean, where's the? I mean, once upon a time, when you had the greats like John Williams, and they would you would put their soundtracks in the trailer to get you pumped up. Now it's, oh, hey, let's just grab a popular song from the ages and do a cover of it and drop it in here. It's soulless. It makes it soulless, if you ask me. Completely soulless.
The surface. It's beautiful.
I don't understand. Now they're all underground dwellers of
I don't know, Adam. I said the same thing. I'm like, Cybertron surface is inhabitable? Like, what the heck is going on?
It's
like,
a
what
giant,
are we doing?
I mean, even know the lore, you know that Cybertron is actually the other robot god.
Primus.
Primus, thank you, Primus.
Yeah.
The brother of wow, I'm just losing all kinds of names all of a sudden. Shit.
Cybertron's a god?
Yes, Cybertron is an actual living god.
Yeah, Primus and Unicron are the opposite sides. I got you, Adam. I got your back, bro.
I'm reeling from so much stuff. I'm doing my thing where I'm forgetting names. It's terrible.
Yeah. Primus and Unicron are the if you want to call Primus God, Unicron's the devil. It's the best way to compare it as such. So Primus. So I don't know why they can't live on the surface of Cybertron. I don't know what's going on. There's deer. I don't know what the freak's happening. I have no clue.
It's like somebody watched the last episode of Beast Machines and said, hey, let's throw organic material on here. Huh?
Oh God, not Beast Machines. Oh no.
It is canon though.
No, it's not. Not in my book. Not in my book. It was Beast Wars, and that was it. That was the end.
Hey, that final fight between Primal and Megatron was good though.
Okay, the fight was cool, but that's not the point.
Because it was still Dragon Megatron with Dragon mode. That's why.
Yeah, Dragon mode. Yeah, Dragon mode Megatron. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you still feeling lost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Watch Beast Wars, Jet.
Why? 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 Why he running?
Because he's comic relief.
And why does it have to be that way? Why do we need this constant MCU humor injected into everything?
Because Keegan-Michael Key needs work.
Oh, I hate. You know, fuck Key and Peele. Fuck Key and Peele. Fuck that shit. God damn. If only Chappelle Show hadn't stopped, we never would have had any of that shit.
Agreed.
If Chappelle Show had just continued, those guys never would have gotten work.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
That show was tremendous.
It was great. And
The
if he hadn't,
racist.
It's tremendous. See, staying power brings the point back home.
If Chappelle had not walked away,
from
Comedy Central, they never would have tried to keep replacing him from other things, and Key and Peele never would have gotten work. They
correct.
never would have gotten anything.
That's correct.
Nothing. Yeah. Fight me. Fight me. All right.
You have proven yourself worthy.
Why does everything need an origin?
Okay, first of all, this is Ninja Turtles now, so that's
Okay.
what I'm.
Yeah,
convinced.
you attributed to that. Yeah, you attributed to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, this is Ninja Turtles.
I mean, is this Alpha Trion that we're going to see? That's
I think that's who that's supposed to be. It don't look like them, but I think that's who it's supposed to be.
And what is this here now?
And access.
Multiple matrices? I mean, everybody already has a spark because they're alive. What is this?
I don't know.
Transformer Pokeballs?
I don't know what I'm seeing. I have no idea what's going on. It's like they all got pieces of the matrix of leadership or something, and now are able to transform. I think that's where they're going.
Because
I'm
where's
confused.
the Autobots matrix of leadership that had existed for eons? Where is it? Because Optimus Prime wasn't the first one. It stores all the primes when they die. That's why it's the matrix. That's why it's so powerful and it's all their sparks in it.
Or maybe Alpha Trion has the matrix of leadership right now and is using it.
I don't know.
This is dumb. I don't.
What is this? This is basically I choose you. you four randos. I choose you. And now you're going to transform into bastardized versions.
And more Power Rangers.
Well, yeah, I see that too. They got the color schemes.
Your full potential.
Let's do music that we've all heard forever. Just pausing.
Is this
to
supposed
avoid.
to be epic?
Adam,
Yeah, it is.
That is RC, bro.
That's RC.
I'm convinced.
I said Alita 1 because, forgive my actual nerd logical brain, if we're going to Orion Pax, I would assume it would be Alita 1, not RC.
I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in. I'm going. That's
you know what? Somebody pull up IMDb. See if they got a cast for this yet.
That's
pull it up. I haven't even thought to do that yet. Listen, guys. Gotta say, we're not angry about this. We're confused that you're seeing confusion here. This isn't anger or rage. This is simple confusion and wonder as to what are we seeing. What are we seeing here? Who is this for? What are they doing?
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
No.
Oh, nope. I stand corrected. It's Alita 1.
It is Alita 1?
It's Alita 1. But
Well,
she's pink.
She's more than meets the eye. They're all more than meets the eye.
So that's supposed to be Alita 1. So, and Lawrence Fishburne is Alpha Trion. That's Alpha Trion. Okay. So
but here's what I got to say though to this. They make Alita 1 look like RC.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
Why did they steal RC's basic design and give it to Alita 1?
I don't know. Because right when I saw it, I was like, Mike, is that RC? And the first thing I said, something like she's pink and silver. And Alita 1 is red. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
Okay. Ruben X is correcting my nerd lore. The Matrix leadership is actually a piece of Premises' heart that was damaged when he was killed by Unicron. Okay, thank you. Listen, I am not a perfect Transformers lore guy. I only know what the shows tell me most of the time and what I absorbed as a kid. So this is a lot of just memory from childhood here. But here's what I get from this though. You're stealing RC's agency and therefore ruining a chance at RC later by giving her appearance to Alita 1. And you're denying one of the two most prominent female Transformers because she now looks like RC. But we talked over it a little bit. We're showing we're more than meets the eye. No, I don't. Who wrote this?
I don't know. I don't know. Jed probably wrote it. I don't know.
Hey, don't insult him like
that.
No,
it's perfect because Jed knows nothing about Transformers.
I'd still make something better than this.
You probably would. All right.
We can transform now.
On free.
We transform now.
See,
they fly now.
Oh no, Jed. No.
Yes. Now watch this right there.
That's what Adam was going for, I think.
Yes, it was. Now, Jed, you see right here. Now they could transform now. It's epic. Watch what happens right here.
What?
More comedy. One of the worst things about modern day Hollywood entertainment, they just can't let anything rest. They can't let a moment actually be a moment. They have to interject comedy for the TikTok. Who can't concentrate on something. They need to have to constantly have a quick cut. Otherwise, they'll be sitting there like this. They're gonna zone out. No, gotta have a quick take. Gotta have a quick cut. Gotta jump around. Gotta have something happen Can't just sit there and enjoy it. Good Lord.
It's working! Where's my head?
More
How do we use these things? Look at wheels! I need
More
wheels!
comedy.
Woo!
All right, so there's an invasion of Cybertron, which, if they're all underground, how is it a threat?
I don't know what's going on.
Guys, that's not good.
Now, these look organic. I just said, are these quintessons? They're obviously not, but they could be bastardized quintessons. Who
I
knows?
mean, they could just be.
I saw
as far as
tentacles,
I'm
so I saw quintessons. You
They
know?
might as well be. I mean, I can't recognize anybody or anything. So, yes. The answer is yes, Adam. The answer is yes.
Yes, it sucks.
We've got these powers for a reason.
And watch this. There's Alita 1 being all badass. She has not had one moment in this of detrimental comedy, of self-deprecation comedy. All the other males have, and here she is. She gets the badass moment in the trailer. I'm just pointing it out to let everyone know that we see it. I mean, Jed, you see it right there.
Oh yeah, no, and she's going through the same situation, so should be struggling as much as everybody else.
Yeah. Nope.
That ain't happening.
She's gonna be badass.
We stand here together as one.
Okay, that's Chris Hemsworth doing a really bad imitation of classic Optimus Prime of Peter Cullen. That's just
He
that's
just doesn't
bad.
have the voice for it. If you're gonna pick someone to play Optimus Prime, you need an all-time great voice like James Earl Jones or something.
I hear Chris Hemsworth. That's what I hear. I mean, now Peter Cullen, we know the man is a legend. He cannot do it forever. In fact, I think he's actually retired from it now officially. He will not be doing Optimus Prime anymore after the last Bay.
I know he passed away, but I think Kevin Conroy would have done a really good job.
Well, that's a presence. That's a presence.
Yeah, you need an actor like that.
And so I hear Chris Hemsworth and him trying to do Peter Cullen right there. You lose me. You lose me completely. Now, right now, I unintentionally stopped there. I did this on my own take as well. Oh, hey, look, Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave.
Yep.
Hey, the designs look right. I'll give them that. Shockwave.
Yeah,
looks like
these are actually recognizable.
Yeah, these are recognizable. But what are they doing here?
I don't know.
Megatron isn't Megatron yet, unless this is a shot of the end, because that's some sort of throne. And how can they exist before Megatron? Is what
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused. Because didn't he form the secrets? You know what? I'm not even gonna get. You know what? That's not even worth my time. That's gonna hurt my head.
Yeah.
So
somebody at least got them right. They look right, but what are they doing here if Megatron is Megatron? Unless this is the end and we're jumping to the future and Megatron's by itself. But this looks like Starscream is stepping down from the throne.
Yeah, that's
which makes
weird.
no sense because Starscream was never in charge
Ever.
And the moment he was, Galvatron ganked his ass.
Yes, he sure did. Took his innocence. That joint was wild.
One of the best moments ever. Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint. Transforms the cannon mode. That was
one shot at him.
One shot, just completely annihilated him. And then Starscream goes on to haunt Unicron's head. I know my Transformers. Anyway, all right. Finish it up. All right, now Dre, you got surprised by this one right here.
Oh my God! This
I got a battle mask. It appeared with this guy.
I was shocked. I'm like, yo, he just killed a guy. I was like, what the freak just happened?
What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay. I'm just annoyed by the comedy. I was annoyed by the comedy. I'd already seen so much fighting that I was already desensitized to the action in the trailer. And all I saw is, oh great, more unnecessary comedy. I just killed. I got
yo, I'm like, and that's what was shocking. Because I'm like, yo, he's been doing all these jokes and slipping on banana peels and whatever, and then literally a decapitation. I'm like, what the freak just happened?
I have knife hands.
I can see that.
These are not the bad guys.
Why did you cut the door?
No, it was already like that, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it was already like. Yeah, that's right.
More comedy. All right, so it begs the question that we asked beginning of this: who is this made for?
I've got no answers.
I mean, I've seen retards on X Twitter going, "Oh my god, I'm so excited!" But that's just that's the fake enthusiasm that we see over these things these days. These are not people who are fans. The real fans, the people that are my and Dre's age who grew up with this stuff. This is not made for a real Transformers fan and a real Transformers fan. All we see is bastardization. Now, I'm as I said before, we're not raging over this. This isn't raging. This is confusion. We're trying to understand why this even exists.
Because it's not even a senseless cash grab. I don't know what's happening. Because I thought Transformers was dead after what was that show? Earth Spark?
Yeah, with the they them Transformers.
Yeah. All that freak mess. I thought the Transformers was dead already. I thought we were done.
There's comics I think going on, but it's comics. Nobody's reading mainstream.
Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about that. I mean, whatever Image is doing anyway. But like as far as this as a visual medium franchise, I thought this was over with. We had some really good stuff on Netflix with Earthrise. That stuff was tremendous. Tremendous Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
It's dead now. So I don't know what the heck.
Bayformers is dead. Bayformers is dead. That's done. There's no Bayformers anymore. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. And after what was the last movie? Rise of the Beast?
Yeah.
That
lost money. I think that lost money.
It lost money.
Yeah, it lost money.
It lost money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, it's over. Stop. We had our fun with Transformers growing up as kids. We had some entertaining movies in the 2000s. The movies weren't great, but they were entertaining movies. It's over.
I don't think that's going to happen, Jay Frazier.
That's been rumored for years.
They hinted at it in Beast Wars, the movie, in Rise of the Beast. I don't think it's going to see light.
There's no way they're pulling the trigger on that. Does G.I. Joe have enough of a following right now to make money?
Jeremy's single-handedly trying to keep that fan base alive.
But he's keeping OG stuff alive. We've heard he disavows the current day shit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like coming up, like I wasn't, and like even when I was coming up, I wasn't big on G.I. Joe. I like Cobra. I like the idea of Cobra. I like Snake Eyes. You know, like there were some things that I liked, but I was never into G.I. Joe.
I was major into it. I was the kid with I was the kid with the flag, dude. I was the kid with the USA. My mom was generous. Okay, my mom. I had everything. I had the flag. I had the Terradrome. I had the General. I had all the cool ass vehicles because I loved that stuff, and I collected it, and I played with it. I played the hell out of it, and then I didn't. And then they got put in trash bags and put in a closet, and then they got thrown out because yes, they did that. My mom threw them all out prior to a move.
Yep.
And I had a lot. I mean, Jeremy would cry if he knew what I had, and I gave up. Now, I mean, all of it was not in good condition because I played hard with my toys. My Terradrome was in tatters because I wasn't exactly playing G.I. Joe. I turned it into because the Terradrome, everyone knows a toy. It for the cockpit for the bat. For the bat little fighter, it looked like a giant Sarlacc maw. So I would like make it a robotic Sarlacc and shit like that. So I played other shows. So I played hard. But if he ever knows, and one day he may, if he ever knows what I lost in terms of all the vehicles, because I could go to the list and I could point on every goddamn thing I had to this very day. He would probably strangle me.
I mean, when it comes to G.I. Joe, it's not difficult to make him cry. I mean, I made him upset when I said the only G.I. Joe thing I've ever experienced was the Community Season 6 episode.
All right, see, that's terrible.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, so I was into it. In G.I. Joe, I had Transformers 2, I had all that stuff, and I played everything, and then I didn't. And then I got older, and I cherished what I had and what's left. But having been there in the beginning, original G.I. Joe, original Transformers, and watching, I will say, the degeneration, the devolution of the franchises over the past several decades, what they put out now doesn't hold a candle to what was out then.
Nope.
It just doesn't stand up because
Nope.
it's not only has it been bad writing over and over again, but some choices sometimes in bad animation, but also a complete lack of understanding of the characters across the board and the stories that were told. The reason GI Joe doesn't work anymore is because people are afraid to say real American hero.
That's good point, Adam. Good
They're afraid,
point.
even during the original run, during the final arcs, right before the final stuff, during the Dragon Force arc, or which is right after the movie. And Cobra Commander came out with my favorite version. I love Cobra Commander in the armor. That was my favorite one that I had. I love that armor that he was in. That was so cool. They started calling it a real world hero. They actually changed it in the middle. This is early 90s and the first round of political correctness. First round, so they changed it to a real world hero instead of real America, a real world hero, or something like that. And that was, but then the show soon ended after that. It had one more run on ABC in the mornings where they culminated at one point where G.I. Joe and Cobra teamed up against a drug lord that had gotten Falcon addicted to drugs. It was really weird. That's where it kind of just went, okay, it's done. It's over. And everything after that, a complete misunderstanding of that G.I. Joe is a real American hero and that Cobra is a world terrorist organization bent on ruling the earth. That was why in the early 2000s, I thought it would have been for America, it would have been marketing gold to have a relaunch of G.I. Joe when we were all very afraid of terrorism back in the day. Let's have G.I. Joe fighting terrorism, which is what they did in the 80s. Why don't we do that? Because Cobra is a terrorist organization, but nobody wanted to do that. They didn't want to talk about that kind of stuff because the seeds were already planted of, we can't have a real American hero. Yes, we can. Duke for life. Fuck Flint. Anyway, all right. So, all right. So this movie is gonna probably do horribly.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna do well.
No,
this is not gonna do well.
No. And I don't care if this cast of current day Hollywood talent is cool. I mean, a lot of these people have good roles. We all want to do things to ScarJo. We all enjoy some Larry Fishburne. We all like Chris Hemsworth, and John Hamm's good, and Keegan Michael Kay can, go away forever. And so can this guy. But they're not voice actors. This is not a Chris Pratt situation where everybody was going, no, Chris Pratt's going to be Mario. And then if you didn't know he was Mario, you wouldn't have known. Because
Exactly.
the effort into creating a voice, unlike Seth Rogen, who didn't put any effort into Donkey
Seth
Kong.
Rogen can't act.
Donkey Kong. So this is not a thing. And now it's had a good reaction on the Paramount YouTube page. I mean, 13 million views and only 100,000 upvotes. That's not great for interaction, but it hasn't been rejected. That's because people, I think, to our point, don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care. Cause it's not offensive, but it's not fun. I mean, it does like something. It's not Transformers.
I'm not offended.
It's not Transformers.
I'm annoyed as a nerd, and I'm confused as a YouTube analyst and a YouTube commentator of why this exists and who this is for.
Yeah,
that's what this is. All right. So Jed is now happy we're done with this because now we'll talk about something Jed can't talk about. Oh, so right after this, because we'll save Star Wars for that. Doctor Who had to drop some news. Actually, it's
your time, Jed. It's your time.
It's my moment.
Now Drake can eat a sandwich and take a break.
Yep.
There's so much going on with Doctor Who right now. It's not just the twerking stuff. It's not just the white mediocrity stuff. There's Stranger Things stuff incorporated with it. There's costumes incorporated with it. There is so much going on right now.
Real quick,
Empire magazine.
I got it right here. Let me answer this question real quick from Alex Vang. I have no opinion because I didn't read Last Ronin. I wasn't really interested in that kind of story. I know people rave about it. True Turtle fans love it. I didn't really want to read it. I wasn't interested in it. So I have no
I
comment.
enjoyed The Last Ronin.
Yeah.
It was a good
So
story.
I hope it's good for those that like it. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
and as long as they stick to what I got on that shelf there, and we're not going to have any problems.
Yeah.
If they deviate, it's over.
Yeah. So it started with this. There was an Empire magazine article where it's a massive. Look at this. This thing is a massive fluff piece. Jed, have you read this whole thing?
Oh God, no. No.
I read most of it and skimmed it for my
That's
video.
Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, it was. I thought, why did I think it was Empire? Because Empire does the same exact shit. That's why.
There is some Empire stuff out there, but yeah, this one is the bigger.
This is the entertainment. So they have all this stuff, and there are all kinds of quotes in here. I don't even know where it is. The most important one is, you know what? Let me bring this down. Let me actually bring up the
Which
tweet.
one? I have a lot of them pulled up.
Oh, bring up the twerk. Bring up the twerk. The twerk.
All right. Right.
So I had the tweet. Jed's got it right here. This is the one that made the rounds immediately from this article. Shooty Gatwa on this from this about being Doctor Who. That's what I'm going to put into the universe. I need the Doctor to have a big, fierce dance routine that like destroys a monster with twerking, or maybe some death drops, and that's what will drop the monster. Jed,
what's a death drop?
I don't know. I pretended to know in my video take. I don't.
A death drop is. Oh God, I have to explain this in the Black community.
That's why I asked you.
There is a technique where young ladies use to drop their large behinds down to the ground, and they usually raise one arm into the air while doing so at a very fast pace.
What? Are you supposed to die if they fall on you?
Kinda.
Because they have very large power couches.
If this gentleman is engaging in that type of behavior,
ooh, now we're there. Now we're there. We took the very, very obvious leap to a gay black man doing a death drop.
That is correct.
So
Jed, there you go. Drink that in, white boys. Drink it in, because that's what's not going to be watching. What's happening.
God bless you.
God bless you, Jed. God bless you. If that's what he's going to do on television.
But so you got this. So he drops this thing, and Jed, I sent this to you as soon as I saw it, and Doctor Who isn't even. The Doctor doesn't do dance routines ending in a death drop and twerking. No. I mean, all I'm picture. I tried for a moment to picture the actual Doctors twerking at a Dalek or
I can't even imagine Jodie Whittaker's not Doctor doing that. Like none of them would do, not a single one of them. That's why I have to think of this as a reboot, like season 1 on Disney Plus. There's so much about this that is like, this is not Doctor Who anymore. And the people still acting like it is. It baffles me. You must have your head so far up your ass. You think your colon.
Well, they got something up their ass.
It's baffling, but I wanted to show this to Dre. This is how Empire announced. I
thought we had it recorded. I was about to throw up.
I got you. You said it too.
I said it too. But yeah, you ready for this, Dre? This is how they announced this article is coming out. We don't need the music.
No, we don't. Oh my.
So
God.
yeah, split down right about here. I don't think this is a kilt. I don't think kilts have a massive split like a dress. So I wouldn't call this a kilt.
Chat, weigh in on this.
This is a real costume. Apparently, he'll wear in one of the upcoming seasons. Just waving his Sonic around. This is very cringe.
What is he doing? I mean, you said there's music to this, but
there's no talking. This is just one of the animated magazine covers. So,
clocking in. No, all fans have clocked out. We're done. We're done with this.
So I'm not now. Irish and Scottish cultures, I always mix them up in my head. I always do. Scottish.
Racist.
We both said
Sorry, all you white Anglo-Saxons look the same. I don't know.
It's Scottish. This is all
The
Scottish.
same and smell like bacon.
So Scottish folks are the kilt folks.
Yes, correct.
Right? Do they also play the bagpipes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So they're all in one. So he's wearing Scottish clothing, allegedly. Am I
kind of? I mean, like red plaid is a common aspect of it, and they do wear kilts, but they're taking Scottish men can wear kilts, so we'll have them wear all these skirts and just say they're kilts.
Okay. So they're trying to find a loophole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm caught up.
The reason that they're doing all this is he is, I think, Nigerian.
Yeah.
Immigrant
Raised
to
in Scotland.
Raised in Scotland. So they're saying he's Scottish, and that's why it's still British institution and whatnot. His accent is not Scottish whatsoever.
The actor himself is African born in Scotland.
Rwandan, I believe.
Rwandan, that's what it was.
Okay. All right.
Okay. But this is the kind of promotion they're doing. They're dropping this here. They're making us look at this stuff. And to hear somebody say that we want this, well, this guy isn't. He's only about 2 months old. To think that the doctor, the ancient creature that is the doctor, thousands of years old, should be beating his enemies by twerking. And remember, that means thrusting the pelvis in somebody's face or the ass, whatever. I mean, either way, there's pelvic gyrations involved. That's how he wants to defeat his enemies.
Will there be lasers shooting out or something? Or
maybe. This is an example of the dancing.
God.
This is also a real costume he'll have.
Oh my! No. Keep your. Don't.
Do you think this would defeat a supervillain, Dre?
See, this is my problem. I'm like, is he shooting lasers while he's doing it? Is it like
no
kinesis or something?
No, he's gonna save the world by being super gay.
So just dancing makes their heads explode? Is that
he's gonna turn on Jinx Monsoon, the music master, the most powerful being in Doctor Who history, apparently. Just gonna turn Jinx on and save. Yeah, they said the music master is the most powerful being in Doctor Who history.
That's so wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
I think I might have mentioned it before. Is Music Master? It's a new character.
Character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a man in a dress.
Yes.
So this is their promotional material this week, connected to their massive article I just showed you. That is nothing but fluff. There's no substance to it. It's all how great Ncuti Gatwa is, how great Millie Gibson is, and yes, I would say her tits are great. But other than that, I have nothing great to say because she is apparently not fired yet, or she didn't leave. She will be in most season 2. But I bring this up because from the mouth of Russell T Davies talking about that, she's not leaving, not at all. We were ordered for 2 years of a series off Disney. Jed, it's a real BBC product. Disney doesn't have any control.
Oh yeah,
Russell T Davies just said in a response to all of this, he dropped it in there. Disney owns Doctor Who. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, people are in such denial about this. Whenever we criticize it as being Disney Doctor Who, the stands come out of the woodwork and it's like, it's just distributing. They have no say over it. Russell said on multiple occasions they have a say. Oh, you're just racist and sexist and homophobic.
I have a question.
All they got.
Ordered by Disney.
So help me understand this a little bit. So BBC and Disney are sharing the franchise now? Is that how that?
So yeah, the BBC is the one who created the franchise. And
weird pie.
They've contracted out the rights, both production and distribution rights, to Disney Plus. The only thing that they're keeping for themselves is the distribution rights for within the UK. Yeah. Everything else is Disney.
It's a very weird pie.
And it's because Bad Wolf Productions, which is owned by Sony.
So by Sony, exactly. It's a very weird situation.
Okay.
And
a bunch of woke companies have control over it.
Yeah,
got it.
Is what's going on. Or in terms of Sony just says, we're an absentee parent. We're not even.
Yeah, Sony's not super involved as far as we're aware. They own Bad Wolf Productions, which is Russell T Davies' production company that's making it, but it doesn't seem like they have much influence. Disney's the one who's paying for everything.
So all these different companies kind of came together like Voltron, and then just kind of all have a piece of
basically
a very pink and rainbow Voltron. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm there.
All right, but so then this happened yesterday or the other day, and I didn't know about it till Jed told me. Shooty Gatwa, we are now March 15th is when this drops, the new season. We're about 3 weeks away, 3.5. So they've got Shooty Gatwa out there, Russ Stevens out there, the entertainment article, the press has begun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the themes of today's show is don't talk about your show before going down. Now, no amount of talking is going to save the disaster that this is. We've seen the trailer. We know what's coming. There will be much gay in this, much rewriting of history. But then he comes out and Shooty Gatwa says this after the twerking thing, which was bad enough of showing that you do not understand the character you are now inhabiting. You do not understand his motivation. You do not understand how the Doctor, even when he changes his skin and he becomes a different physical personality, physical being, it's still the Doctor at the core. The madman in a box.
Metaphor. I think it was in the 50th anniversary talking about it with the sonic screwdrivers. Same software, different casing.
Exactly.
They equated the regenerations to the sonic screwdrivers. Same software, same core program, same core being, just different.
Still
casing.
the madman in the blue box who was always on the run, always running away. Not gay dude in a wife beater and a skirt dancing in the disco now beckoning you to be twerked at. That and then get death dropped in a kind of movie that none of us want to watch. But then we get this. So he's already starts off the week with this promotional tour showing us he doesn't understand it. And then he goes and now steps into the real arena. Now, let's be honest, Jed. Shooty Gatwa hasn't really said anything offensive up to this point. He's said stupid shit, but he hasn't said anything that really draws him into the culture war, has he?
Yeah, not to the same degree as like Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Whittaker pretty much right off the bat from her casting was insulting the franchise before us, refusing to watch it, saying I will not watch anything that came before me type stuff. And yeah, she was right
His
off the
handlers
bat.
have been pretty good. They've had him. They've kept him on the rails until the other day. Doctor Who star Shooty Gatwa complains that white mediocrity is celebrated while black people struggle to get half that. Thank you, Shooty, for showing us who you really are. Not that we didn't know you were already a very gay black man, but that you are just as brainwashed and indoctrinated in this culture war nonsense when it comes to the SJW side as everybody else. You are perfectly happy to push the victimhood agenda. Let's zoom in and let's have a little read thanks to Deadline.
It's a short article, so
Yeah.
I think we can pretty easily go through the whole thing.
Shooty Gatwa, the first black Doctor Who. Well, Jed, they've already ignored Fugitive Doctor, haven't they?
Yes, thankfully, because that's all nonsense.
Remember that they were so happy. Oh, look, a black doctor. She's the fugitive doctor. Well, hey, he's the first black doctor now. Forget her.
Well, she's the first doctor now. Okay. First one to have the name of the doctor. First one to have the police box, even though that makes zero sense because we saw the first Doctor, William Hartnell, get the police box, or at least was like, oh, it's stuck as the police box. But there's always an easy way to find out if you know anything about Doctor Who or not, and it's already in that first sentence. The first black Doctor Who, his name's not Doctor Who, it's the Doctor.
Yep.
Doctor Who is a question.
You would say the first black doctor.
Yes.
Was extremely outspoken in a new interview. Gatwa is an alphabet mafia Rwandan. I'll say mafia. He's not community. He's mafia. This proves he's mafia. Is a Rwandan immigrant to the UK and made his comments to the magazine Attitude. What is Attitude? Do we know what Attitude is?
I actually looked up that article. Okay. It is insane. It is a massive interview, and it's just all about being super gay. So if we want to look at that, we can.
You know what?
I want to show you.
I think I'll hard pass that one. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't even want to show you the image that they used for the top photo because it is.
Put it in private chat. I do want to see it. I'll make that judgment call. Okay. Attitude for its May June issue asked about backlash on his assuming the role of Jed, they do it again, of Doctor Who. He said that it's all part of a shift. we do see a shift happening in casting, in positions of power, and in the status quo. I mean, not a fast shift. Things could tip over the other way a little bit quicker. You like tipping over, don't you, Shooty?
Yes, he does.
But
He likes getting snowman.
Oh
no.
Yeah,
He actually said that in the Christmas special, Dre.
Yep.
I've just been snowman.
Yep. Chat, people watching this, go look it up.
Don't.
No. We are not going
Just
to.
know it's very explicitly gay. That's all you need to know. I made the mistake of looking it up. Don't.
Well, I'm just saying we're not going to show you here. This is a family network here. We don't do this stuff. Anyway, who said that it's all part of shift? Where was I? But you see people kind of malfunctioning because things are changing. No, we're malfunctioning because you're you're ruining a character further, and you're happily doing it with your gay smile and your flavor saver.
God.
That's what his mustache is.
Yeah.
I've taken us off the rails. Shooty talked of his battle for acceptance. There's so much white mediocrity that gets celebrated, and black people, we have to be absolutely flawless to get half of that anyway. So I'm
You're
slowly
proof that that's a lie because you are not being flawless and you're helming up a new franchise.
Yeah. I'm slowly training myself out of being like, no shit, you deserve love for just existing.
Okay, there's a couple things here that's being.
Dre, go ahead and unpack that. I think you can appropriately unpack that. Go ahead.
This is my thing. Look, I get where that expression comes from. The expression comes from the 1960s during the Civil Rights era, which is the era my father grew up in. And that's something that he used to tell me when I was a kid. He said, hey, like for a black man to make it in the world, you have to be twice as good to get half as much. That was the expression that was used back then because that's when my dad grew up in. So yeah, that makes sense. We don't exist in that time anymore. And it's time to I don't want to click on it. I don't want to click on it.
You have to.
I'm going, all right, let me click real quick. Let me take a
look. Show it.
Let me take a quick look at
You're welcome.
I deserve what I get. Dang, lost my thought.
It's okay. Go ahead.
So the idea of yes, you have to be flawless in order to achieve something. Yes, this is an additive from the civil rights era, and during that time period, 110% correct. Mm-hmm. We are far removed from this. This gentleman's existence in this show alone shows the progress that this country has made. The idea that a black gay man is now that the front runner of Doctor Who, a European show. You've made it, bro. You can stop talking about it. It's no longer I'm fighting for something. You've won. It's not
you've
like,
won.
we need more change.
There's gonna be gay butt sex in Doctor Who this season.
Exactly.
With at least two different men.
And see, and that's my thing. So, these people don't get it. These privileged this victim mentality privileged people that have no idea what the struggle really is.
Yeah.
They're always fighting to try to make a struggle because once they have to accept the fact that they are now the leading class and are now the oppressors, they cannot be able to live with themselves. So the idea that you have to keep on chasing this idea is ridiculous. And
it's not even, there's another part to that. The people behind them, pushing them to do this, are the perpetrators of the victimhood industry because they make profit off of this. It's their literal industry. It's their cash cow. And if the oppression ended, then the money's gone.
Exactly.
If actual acceptance was there, which it has been for a very long time, it's only in the past, I would say, 6 or 7 years where we've taken decade. We can go all the way back to Obama. The past decade where we've gone backwards because of the victimhood industry, because of these people demanding that they be treated special.
Exactly.
For all these reasons, for all the reasons you stated.
Yep, it's not about equality anymore because we have the equality. Sorry, black folks and Mexicans and gays that see this, but we have equality now. We have it. All right.
Yep.
Now it's about supremacy. That's
And
what it's about. It's supremacy.
Gauntlet was asked about the UK struggle with gender diversity and trans.
Oh.
All right. Everything trickles down from the top when you see politicians openly attacking marginalized communities. When you see our politicians openly attacking trans people, it makes it okay for everyone else. First of all, who the hell is mimicking a politician? Politicians are the most hated people in the world after okay, I don't have anybody. I can't think of it. Who's more hated than a
What
politician?
world is this half-blood prince living in? I'm very confused. I am very confused. No, okay, Adam, you already hit the nail on the head. No one listens to politicians. Let's cut that. Let's get that out the way. Maybe in Scotland or Rwanda, wherever he comes from, maybe they do. But here in the States, one place you want to see people not give a crap about their politicians is here. Let's get that out the way.
We hate them.
Secondly, the idea of politicians attacking marginalized communities. What fantasy world is he living in?
Especially if we're talking about England, our British friends in the chat watching this. You guys can attest it. They bend over literally backwards.
Yes,
stuff right now.
So I don't get what they're talking about. No one is coming after these folks. Look, are there people that are always going to be hating of other people? 110%. That's never going to go away. As long as there's human beings, somebody's going to hate somebody. That's always going to happen. But the idea that there is a marginalized group that the government themselves are now attacking, those days are done.
Well, you know what? This is the ideological argument. They're trying to set the stage of, remember, our side is for you. The other side is attacking you. It's all ideology. It's tribal ideological bullshit. It's all it is.
It's just insane because you and I are old enough to remember when all this stuff was over with. When we were done with this.
It was done. After Jungle Fever. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Everything happened. After Will and Grace, nobody cared.
No one cared.
It was done. It was over.
No one cared.
Everybody was happy in their corners, doing their thing, living their lives.
Yes, were there always little corners of like, we don't like this group or that like group? Of course there is.
Well,
but the
furries can go to hell. Them furries, they can go.
See, there's that Adams. Yes, yeah, racist bastard. Leave those furries alone. But there's always going to be.
No, I will not be sniffed in public. God damn it!
But the idea that, hey, this struggle is still going on and we got to take back everything. Like, yo, our parents and grandparents won. They won. We're good, bro.
Dre, that's why they're changing it now to the trans struggle. And I know this is not the best thing for me to talk about here on the tubes, but we're gonna dance around it here. We're talking about an extreme, less than 1% population of the world.
0.00001.
And then what it really is about children.
Yeah,
that's what this is about. It's about why we're pushing back on. It's about children and what they want to do to children.
Agreed.
That's what. If you read between the lines, that's what he's talking about here. He's not talking about. He's coding it in the struggle Dre has been talking about underneath, because he is Alphabet Mafia. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're pushing.
Agreed.
It's still a children's show. Doctor Who's still a children's show.
Children's show that's going to have a gay man and a romance in 2 minutes.
Good Lord.
Working to defeat bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't care if working's gay or straight. Children, it's not appropriate for children.
No,
it's not appropriate for children.
Listen. It wasn't. I saw it in She-Hulk. It wasn't appropriate for me. All right.
Nope.
I'm not a fan of twerking just to begin with.
I think
like twerking in of itself is a sexual gesture.
Yes,
110%.
I will twerk on her on the bed. I ain't gonna do it in the middle of the dance floor.
That's what I'm. Yeah, whatever.
That's all right.
Why? My brain didn't need that. I'd already seen too many pictures of Shooty Gatwa today.
What?
Well, there's an image in my mind.
Anyway,
That's
and
not
it is
gonna go
scary
away.
to see that we've got to a point where it is fine to attack vulnerable people because that's essentially what's happening. People, what about the children? They're vulnerable. They're the vulnerable ones here, not you. You people. Yeah, I said you people. You people who get yourself mutilated. You're the ones who have chosen to do this through surgery and medical treatment. Nobody made you do it. You made yourselves vulnerable because you have to be the center of attention and make this about your victimhood ideology. What's happening? People who are the most vulnerable, the most disenfranchised, the most disconnected from everyone else are being told that they are the threats. You're threats to children because you're pushing shit that will harm them and ruin them. Listen, once you are 18 or in your 20s and all the puberties have stopped, you want to stick your dick in a toaster, go ahead. I don't care. I don't care. You aren't going to procreate anyway. But somebody who needs to go through the actual chemistry, biology that goes on in your body in order to finish becoming a grown-ass man or woman, because there are only two genders, they need to go through that. After that, when you're an adult, you make all the decisions you want. You want to put on a furry costume and pretend that you're Lassie, go ahead. I don't care. But this is about calling them vulnerable. You've made yourself vulnerable because you've made yourselves a victim because you have been told that that's the only way you can exist in this society. Because no one's going to accept you. So you have to maintain your victimhood to get attention. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, all right. He added, it's sick because it's hiding a way of your own ineptitude. You're going to put the blame on immigrants, black immigrants. What?
What's going on here?
Doesn't make sense.
He just went off the rails. Black and brown people. Hey, what about the Asians? Why don't you throw them in there too, huh? We're going to blame everybody. Let's blame the Asians too. Why not? Trans people, queer people, to hide the fact that you are not doing anything for people. What is
going on?
About? What does this have to do with Doctor Who?
He's on a tangent.
What does this have to do with him being black and gay in Doctor Who and Doctor Who twerking and saving the universe with a dance-off?
It's ridiculous.
I'm lost. It's easier to create discord amongst... You're creating... Wow. Talk about not seeing the nose in front of your face.
This is wild.
Kettle calling the pot black.
His entire diatribe here is divisive. He is the one putting this out here, forcing us to make comment on it. Because we're talking about the truths he's trying to hide. Wow, you know, I going into Doctor Who, I was just ready to make fun of him as being effeminate and this and that because he's a very gay man in what was once a masculine role. Now I have no problem taking the gloves off completely and ripping on Ncuti Gatwa because he just dropped this. Well, let me rephrase it. He just death dropped this and decided to truly engage in the culture war on our turf and the shit we talk about. So thank you, Ncuti, for allowing me to rip you even harder when we roast your show. Now I get to talk about you and not just because most of the time when we rip on this stuff, when we take it apart, we're talking about the characters. We're making fun of the character, making fun of the story. In this case, I can do both now because he's joined the fight. He has said he is against protecting children with these statements. He has said that, you're the ones who are being divisive and hurting people. You're the one making this an issue, creating false equivocation about we're angry and we're blaming immigrants and other people of color all over. It makes no sense. But these are his talking points he's been told to say. This is the truth. This guy has zero intelligence. He has none. He is told to say these things. He's given his talking points, and he's reminded that if you don't, well, you won't be as important as you were before. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, Ncuti Gatwa's important because he's been given this fantastic role that was made famous by better men, better actors. And now he has the keys
Better
to
people.
better people. And now he has the keys to a very gay TARDIS that is a copy of the actual thing. And he gets to now have a soapbox to stand on. And this is what he does with it. So's divisive nature. Gatwa said that we've got to keep pushing for more. Lots and lots and lots and lots. Say it one more time, Shooty. More diversity. Lots more inclusion on our screen. Lots and lots and lots of it for all you male gammons?
The next paragraph explains what that means.
Okay. The term gammon refers to the color of a person's flushed face when expressing their strong opinions as compared to the type of pork of the same name. Am I flushed right now? I look pretty calm. I'm all right.
I still don't know what that means.
That's it.
I think it's confusing, but it sounds like he's talking about
angry white people.
Yeah, basically.
That's what it is. So Shooty, in his infinite lack of wisdom, has now made this about race and gender.
Sexuality.
Before he was just being stupid talking about twerking. That was just a stupid thing to remind us that R.I.P. Doctor Who. But now with this brilliant set of statements, he has made it all about race, gender, and sexuality. He's made it all about that. That's the core. And white mediocrity.
James Fraser does bring it up. Only white people can have this gammon because their shade of white is so light that they can express the pink. So yeah, it's basically white pathetic men.
So gammon is like a guy that's yelling, a white man that's yelling so much his face turns red. That's what that means.
Yeah. So
okay,
what we have here is him basically saying that for the past, I'll say 55 years, right at the end of the quality run, Doctor Who was just white mediocrity. Is that what he's saying, Jed?
Yes, that is what he's saying. And more for just than that. But you're disconnecting from the franchise. This is in the same vein as what Jodie Whittaker was saying. It was just a male fest. It was never good before her, even though she refused to watch it before her. And this is all the same thing. I imagine he hasn't watched anything besides probably the Jodie Whittaker era before him, even that. They have no care for the franchise. They have no interest in it. Oh, it's all white. It's all men. Oh, it's probably terrible. Screw it.
It's a vehicle for our agenda. And now we've got it. And let's be honest, Jed, they've got it. It's there.
Oh, yeah.
It's very firmly in their grasp. Has been for a long time.
R.I.P. Doctor Who. There is no saving this, but there is roasting it. And you can join me and Dermy Wormy in about 3 weeks every Saturday night after Saturday Night Drive-In. Dermy and I for approximately 7 weeks. I think they're doing a 2-episode job. I don't know. We'll find out. We will be covering it live stream reviewing Shooty Gatwa as Shooty Gatwa in Doctor Who. All right, we're done with this. And as we now move on, real quick, Jay Frazier for £5. Hail round table. Hail right back to you, my friend. Just a reminder, Shooty Gatwa said he wanted his and RTD's tenure of fake and gay Doctor Who to reflect their left-wing bubble. All right.
He has said that.
Yes, he has. So it's done. It's done. But we're gonna roast it to hell. Those of us that are
not even Stephen Moffat's episode is worth being excited for, in your opinion. Because that's what everyone's saying. I know people are saying I have no hope for the franchise, but I'm watching the Stephen Moffat episode.
Well,
not enough for you.
Yeah, it's lost. It's lost. But I'm doing this out of spite at this point. This is pure spite. I am here to ruin their victory lap by just dragging my shitty ass along the whole thing and saying, "Look what I did." It's everywhere. You got to step in if you're gonna keep running. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, thank you, Jay Frazier, for the £5. All right. It doesn't end with Doctor Who. Witcher's so done as a massive media franchise, Jed. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still going to be the video games. There's still going to be the books. Those seem to be very popular. Even at this point, there's a lot of excitement for that. I am very worried about CD Projekt Red's future with the video games. But I'd say as those media properties, those are still potential. They have potential to still be in popularity, but never
the massiveness of it is over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The massiveness of it died years ago. It might be reignited with the upcoming Witcher 4. codenamed Polaris. But yeah, the TV show, it barely made a drop in the bucket, even in season 1, compared to what Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt did, the video game. But at this point, the TV series is virtually dead. No one cares about it without Henry Cavill. Liam Hemsworth hasn't been relevant in a decade. Yeah, ever. But I mean, Hunger Games is the one almost relevant thing he had, and that's been over for a decade at this point. And yeah, there's no saving it. And they're constantly making stupid casting decisions, lore changes. Every season they come out, it's like, we heard what you said. You didn't like how far from the books we're going to be. We're going to be closer than ever. And then they're further from ever. And then they're going to do it, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. And you found, so we got the first news that their season 4 is in production, and they got us. Yeah, we'll start that. So they got season 4, and they say there's a season 5, but isn't it really they just split season 4 off and gave it things, and it's inconsequential.
So yeah, this was the original plan from a long time ago. Originally, they were going to film in, I think, September of last year, and they were going to film seasons 4 and 5 back to back and end the franchise. They just announced again that season 5 will be the end of the series regardless. But from when that came out, we all knew it was going to be a split season because of how short the filming window was going to be. It's not like they were going to film for a full year as of what time it would take them to film 2 full seasons of their stuff back to back. They're filming in a normal window. It's still the same amount of time. So it's clearly just a split season. And then the writer strike made it to, all right, we haven't finished season 5 yet, so we're just going to film season 4 now and do 5 later. Then the actor strike happened and they both got delayed. So they're finally going into production for seasons 4 and 5 right now. And they're only going to be in production for a couple months. It's really not going to be anything special. 6 months at the max, I believe. And who cares? Even these articles and these videos got no interaction.
I mean, is this even a major outlet reporting this stuff? I mean, nobody's even really reporting.
This is the Redanian Intelligence. They're like the go-to Witcher source.
So
other sites are reporting on it. This is just they have all the stuff. Like, they have a lot of insider information, like the rats that I'm going to come up with in a minute.
Yeah. You just told me this interesting too. So Jed was going to make me watch the spin-off, The Rats. He was going to make me do it. I was going to suffer.
But for those of you who don't know, with the Rats, it not how it was in the books necessarily, but they were going to do a prequel series about the Rats, which is in the Netflix show, a group of gay teenagers who are evil but think they're Robin Hood.
And will be basically mentally and sexually abused Siri.
Yes. In the book, she is sexually assaulted by a woman in the Rats who it's a kind of Stockholm situation where a man is about to sexually assault her, then a woman rescues her and it's like, hey, I saved you. Why don't you let me assault you now? Like, it's a messed up situation.
But it's supposed to be. That's the thing.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they're gonna make it in the show where it's an actual romance love story between her and the woman who assaulted her. The missile has been race swapped and will be her gay level in season 4. And if you know the books, that is just awful that they're reframing it. Yes, they do kind of have a relationship in the book for a little while, but it's very Stockholmian. Like, I have no other choice but to stay with these people. I'll just put my head down and do what I need to do to survive.
It's an actual story, an actual character development, and a character progression, as opposed to, let's just make them gay and happy.
Yeah, absolutely. But we actually just got news that the Rats prequel seems to be in trouble, and this article goes into it where we knew that there was some weird stuff going on back, I believe it was in May of last year. They started filming for the Rats prequel, but instead of the 6 months that they had scheduled out for it, they stopped after 2 months, and that was weird. We never really heard why. People assumed that there was stuff going on with the strikes, but the timeline didn't match up for when those events happened. Now we know what happened. Apparently, some Netflix executives saw some early footage from the Rats and decided, God, that looks terrible. We're pulling the plug. And so the filming was canceled because it looked so bad. Not even just like, we need to rewrite it, reshoot it. It's like, we're done.
Well,
and so it looks like
they can't afford to do that kind of shit anymore. They can't afford to reshoot, especially something that's not going to bring in subscribers. The Rats was never going to bring in millions of subscribers to Netflix.
God, no. So the idea right now is they're going to incorporate some of the stuff that they filmed into season 4 as flashbacks. Again, decreasing the amount of filming time that they'll need to do for season 4 and the amount of writing that they'll need to do for season 4. So yeah, I'm not surprised by this. What's Over the Rats was never going to be good. The one person with the name that was going to be in it was Dolph Lundgren, and Dolph Lundgren's not exactly a relevant actor these days.
I mean, we like him, but I'm not. It doesn't make me excited to watch it. So
It was on track to be worse than Blood Origin, and for the people who saw that's impressive.
Who was excited for Blood Origin? Nobody. That was one of the weirdest reviewing experiences I've ever had, because I watched it because we were going to watch it, and then I watched it so that I could review it, and it was just, what was this?
Oh, you don't want to see the first Witcher be the Hulk?
No, and
you didn't want that?
No. Oh shit, Dolph Lundgren has cancer?
I didn't know about that.
Oh shit! Wow. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, he does. I reported on it last year. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he has cancer.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
F cancer, man. F cancer.
He seems like a really good guy. He's wicked smart.
I remember God, it was back when Howard Stern was Howard Stern. Somebody, I forget who the actress was with them. They were talking about him, and she says in a Howard Stern interview, said, Dolph Lundgren, he's such a gentle lover. I remember that interview for some reason.
He seemed like a great guy. He was the one thing I was looking forward to, because I knew he'd do a good job in the Rats. I don't know who he'd be, because he's not Bonart, because Bonart's in season 4. But yeah, it's a weird situation with the Rats, but at least it's gracefully over.
But
I'm glad we're only going to get a few scenes of it
this
versus 8 episodes.
This isn't even the worst thing you stumbled upon in the past couple of days with this stuff.
It is not. Do you want to do the Henry Cavill tweet or the casting news?
Let's go with the casting news, and then we'll go to the tweet, because I think that one it leads to the other better.
Okay, so there's been a lot of casting for seasons 4 and 5 coming out. A lot of it's just whatever. Like, this guy from Game of Thrones is being cast as a very, very small role. Like, in the books, he'd be in one half scene. It's weird that they're casting someone as recognizable as the Blackfish, but who knows what their motivations are. They're probably extending that storyline. But in all of this, I caught something, a casting announcement that is a little bit rough. This person, I'm not going to even try to say that, but this girl is being cast as Nimue, which, for those of you who aren't familiar with English mythology, is a real English mythology figure known more commonly as the Lady of the Lake. I'm sure everyone's heard of the
Nimue.
Lady of the Lake.
Nimue.
Nimue. And she is in the Witcher books. That character, Lady of the Lake, is a very, very prominent character, especially in the final book. I mean, the final book's named after her, Lady of the Lake, and she's an important character. In that final book, she is late middle age. She's in a relationship with an ugly man known as the Fisher King, who kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein, at least as described. And she has this really fascinating story. She's in about 150 years after the events of the final book. And she's series lost in space and time at this point. She can't find her way back to her time and her reality. And so in the future, the Lady of the Lake is working with an oromancer to find Ciri in the multiverse and give her an anchor to come back home. And it's really cool how he sprinkled that story throughout the final book to lead her towards coming home for the final act of that story. Well, we do see a couple flashbacks to her as a young woman in a couple scenes, like with the Blackfish's character. Blackfish's character is someone who interacts with the young version of her, but her young version is only in one small half scene to such a degree that it's more an extra than an actual casting announcement. That's why I believe this isn't just them casting this young version of her. This is actually going to be the real version of her, because you wouldn't announce an extra. You announce the real version of her. Are you ready to see, Dre, who this middle-aged woman, white woman, prominent in English mythology is being played by, who's in a sexual relationship with an ugly man? You ready for what she's going to
I'm ready.
Like?
I'm ready.
She's 16 years old. A 16-year-old Asian chick is playing. This is a great fan art of what she's supposed to look like with the Fisher King.
I'm confused.
It's a bunch
What's
of
going on here?
POs here going on.
What's going on?
That's what this
Wait,
is.
the actress still 16?
Yes, the actress is 16 as of right now.
Oh no!
There's a reason I said Harvey Weinstein a few times.
POs.
Oh my god! This is not. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Even if they've extended her flashbacks, that should be just one half scene into a full character arc. They still race swap the character, which is bad.
Wait a minute. Rewind for a hot second. They're going. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay.
It's catching up to him now.
Wait a minute. So the character marries an older gentleman.
Is in a relationship with an older.
In a relationship with an older gentleman. Okay.
I mean, she's also a woman. Older. She's the same age.
Got it.
She's much
Got
older.
it. So this is my next question. In the lore, is she an adult?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody call the police.
POs.
Her age is kind of ambiguous because she's a borderline mythological figure. You know, I mean, like she could be hundreds of years old. Like
the character.
Yeah, the character in the books. It's kind of ambiguous because she's the Lady of the Lake. She is a little bit larger than life type person, but it's generally to believe that she's in her 40s in the story in Lady of the Lake. They do flash back to her as an 18-year-old for like half a scene, but it's so minute that you wouldn't announce the casting announcement.
So this baby is in this film, and they're gonna call the police.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
This is all speculation. At the end of the day, this is terrible casting. It's a race swap and an age swap, making her way too young.
If this casting is true,
they might not.
Call the police.
Oh, it is true. Let me switch back to this. In this video, they have her in this video reading her lines. Let me see.
She's doing line reads.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this isn't just the extra. It's Twitter video. Let me refresh. But yeah, you wouldn't have someone who's virtually an extra doing line reads at a table read. Let me see if I can find her. She's actually very early on in it. Let me.
This is just continuing
That's her.
disturbing lines.
Oh no,
that's a little girl.
Oh, that's not good.
She don't look 16. Are you sure she's 16?
Yeah, this could have been filmed several months ago, but yeah, the actress. Right here, let me switch back to this page. Says she's 16 right here.
So she's 16 now. Did this joint start filming?
Yeah, it's filming right now. Just
no.
Still a child though.
Oh, Dre don't like that. Oh no.
Yes. Seeing
this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like.
It looks bad. They have to change the story and get rid of the Fisher King sexual relationship with her to make this almost okay. Even if they did that, it's still a race swap of a prominent English mythology figure, which is bad enough.
Yeah, that's bad enough. But now you're putting kids in sexual situations?
With
what are we doing?
Possibly.
This is a pretty accurate representation. Yeah. This guy's actually more attractive than he's described in the books. Like he's described as the ugliest fat man you've ever come across. Harvey Weinstein would be perfect to play the Fisher King.
So are they just doing this for the sake of a virtue signal?
Yes, of course.
That's not good, man.
It's virtue signal like race swap, and it's degeneracy for her age.
See, my thing is this: there's been plenty of actresses that have played teenage girls in film like that. I don't have. I mean, it's creepy,
they're usually 25 though.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about thinking because I know the actress is 25.
This is a child. This is a child playing an adult. I don't like that at all.
Well, she might not be playing an adult. They just might change her age and being like, "Oh, she's 16 now."
Whatever. If this baby is in sexual situations, I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the police. I don't care who you paid off. You ain't gonna be touching babies on my watch. That's not gonna happen. I don't like that. Isn't this whole thing? Wasn't a whole push about protecting children and getting rid of these creepy monster people? But now you're gonna feed the baby right to the crazies?
They don't care. They never cared. They never cared.
What is wrong?
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought this looked really, really bad.
No,
it's all about agenda. It's all about using whatever tools, and it's also a normalization of certain things that we have been alluding to.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Normalization. So Witcher's fucked. It's well and truly fucked. I know that this is separate from the book. that is being
Very
written.
separate.
That is that is going to probably be just fine. As
I'm
you said
excited
earlier,
for that.
yeah. Their next game, there's a lot of watchful eyes
Mhm.
on CD Projekt Red because there is no trust in CD Projekt Red anymore. That's gone. That's been that's at the bottom of the Atlantic. And now the TV show was a thing that never was and never will be, and will now have something very questionable possibly happening in it, like this. Read the
Well,
books, play
there's
the
the
games that
anime
exist.
as well.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, the anime Sirens of the Deep, where they don't know what the difference between sirens and mermaids are.
They had a chance to just. I mean, Jay, you've explained this in the past, so I'm pretty sure I understand it. They could have done something monumental with The Witcher overall.
Absolutely.
Let's get her off the screen. I don't want to see her anymore. Let's get her away here. Okay. They had a chance to adapt the books and tell the story before the games, and then adapt the games.
Yes.
And you could have gone for good. Probably. Let's see. How many seasons per book do you think you could have? Like, they butchered what they've done now, which was their attempt at the books.
I actually agree with their initial decision to combine the first two collections of short stories. That makes sense to me because, yeah, they're short stories. So that one's fine. And then Season of Storms, I don't even know if they have rights to. That's a prequel that was written in 2013. So there's that out of the way. And then there's 5 novels. So they could get 6 seasons before they got to the games.
All right, so set 6 seasons in the games. See, first game, one season. It's not an overly complicated or deep game. Second
I'd say
one,
the first 2 you could do in one season.
Maybe I would have liked the second game to be a season all on its own.
The second game is phenomenal. The first game's rough, especially from a lore
the controls are just so bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're
But
terrible.
there's another Elder Blood child in the first game, and that is bad. That is not good. And on an equivocal scale of power to Syria, and that's not okay lore wise.
But I would say they could have done. I would say do the second game of its own season, because you would have to kind of blend the fact that you can't, where it's 2 different stories, a choose your own adventure thing where you choose one side. They would have had to find a way to blend it to make it work as things, so that you get the good elements from both kinds of the story. That would have been a full season. And then Witcher 3, that's 3 seasons. That's 3, maybe 4 seasons, with how much content there is in that one game. Because you got the base game, which can be easily divided to 3 seasons, and then you have the DLCs, which can either be 1 season or 2 seasons. So
I don't see them doing Hearts of Stone.
Yeah, because that's kind of more of an add-on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see either of them as being good for DLCs. I mean, good for their own seasons.
You know what I mean, though? There is a lot. So they could have
content.
had probably a total of anywhere between 10 and 12 seasons of this stuff. They could have. Oh, goddamn it. All right. So they missed it completely on this. They missed it completely. Totally. All right. Let's jump into this real quick because Dre, I see you got to go. And so you can weigh in, and then Jed and I can wrap it up. So the last topic of the day, because we cannot ignore it, it was the news that started the week. The truth, the God's honest, no way around it, facts and truth, that Disney Star Wars, Lucasfilm, is a failure. This is it's a Forbes article. I covered it early in the week. We're not going to go through the whole thing. There are snippets that are important here. We'll go right to the graph, though, and I'll mention the lines just because they are important. We'll go back to them later, but so Drake can see this right here. This is the loss. When you do the math, the Disney Star Wars films, I did the math, have only made $1.185 billion net. And they spent over $500 million on at least 2 of the sequel trilogy movies, Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. And they didn't list it here, but I looked it up. The current budget known for Last Jedi was $300 million. Probably higher, but current no.
Probably higher.
And all the other ones had massive budgets as well. They paid George Lucas $4 billion for this. And they haven't, according to Forbes' money tracing, and they're lying in their return on investment reports. They hid it. They didn't include the cost of purchasing Lucasfilm in the return on investment. And when Forbes broke it down, they still haven't made up the remaining $2.2 billion.
Well, and they're not even including the Disney Plus shows on this graph. And we know how expensive each of those seasons were and how little money they made.
And they mentioned that they can't calculate that because of the Disney Plus model. And
I mean, it's virtually known that streaming shows just can't make money. It's so hard. You have to be a juggernaut like Stranger Things to even make money for your streaming service. So these $200 million budget seasons of television, I'm guessing, they each cost in the end probably $250 maybe, and get none of that back.
We know that they cost at least we've seen it. We know that the budget for a season of Mandalorian is the budget for a full-blown movie. We know this.
There's no way that they're making any money off of that. So that's just more in the red.
So you look at this, and the gross for all these movies, 2 billion, 1.4, 1.1. Now, by actual real metrics, they actually, if you do the numbers that we use now, they lost money on Rise of Skywalker. They didn't actually, it's this year that they made 89 billion. No, I did the math as we know it now. They actually lost money. On Rise of Skywalker. They lost money. They lost multiple money. So, Drake, because you got to go soon. There's no denying the facts anymore. These are hard numbers.
Like, we did this math. Matter of fact, we did a rough look at the numbers maybe a few weeks ago, just doing simple mathematics.
Definitely last year, we tried.
Yeah,
our best
definitely
to get these numbers. Yeah,
definitely, because all we did was took the $4 billion that was spent, and then we literally just added just simple mathematics, adding the cost of all those films and added the cost of the TV shows. That is alleged numbers for the TV shows, and it doesn't match. It wasn't even close. Like, if you're just looking at rough numbers, and the people that always like, oh, it made trillions. I'm like, no, you got to look at what was invested, and you have to look at cost. They're not making any money. Like people that don't understand money.
Gross versus net. They don't get it.
Yeah, people don't understand. If I give Adam $4 billion for his franchise, I am $4 billion in the hole. And then I'm going to then spend more money to create things from his franchise. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, simplistically, I spend another $1 billion total, just being rough numbers. So now I'm $5 billion in the hole. Now I have to make $5 billion to break even. That's how it works.
And Drake, this is just Star Wars.
Yeah.
They lost money on Willow. We know that there was that false article we talked, or the false statement they say, oh, Indiana Jones and the Dial-Up of Destiny only lost $138 million. Bullshit. Bullshit. That movie needed $1 billion to break even. And it made less than 300 million. Or less than 400 million. It made no money. There is no way it only lost $138 million. They had Lucasfilm as a whole has never made money. This is the proof, because they never sold merch.
Exactly.
Either.
And Adam, I wasn't even including that. I wasn't including the $300-400 million I spent on merch to fill up Target and Walmart and all them other joints that didn't move. Not even counting
never did well.
Never.
It just like they've spent so much money. Like, oh, this film made $1 billion, but you still have to split it with the theaters. Like it's not how it works. Okay. George Lucas played y'all for fools, took a whole mess load of money from y'all, and now y'all dug and just kept digging a hole deeper. And now, with diminishing returns and the amount of money that you spent, it's over.
Yep.
And these and I looked at these numbers before, Adam, and I know you were saying that some of the numbers, how they calculate a couple of things may have been a little bit off.
They do
right here and there.
1 point. Their break even numbers, the metrics they're using are not the metrics that are standard now. They're using
Yeah,
metrics.
but even by those standards that they used, it's still a loss.
Yeah.
So either way you spin, if you want to use these numbers or if you want to do the original calculated numbers of 2.5 plus advertisement or whatever the case may be, you lose, Dr. Mario. You lose.
There is zero
and now it's in their
profit
face.
here. There's zero profit. And once and for all, this is the Achilles heel of all of this. You took the golden goose, you changed the formula, you injected a different animal's DNA into it, and it birthed a monstrosity. The thing that came out of that egg was not gold. It was not even fool's gold. It's just a turd, a black, burned, disgusting turd that you don't even want to look at.
My God.
And it hasn't changed. Nothing has changed in 12 years now. They've had this for 12 years. In, let's say, from 1977 to 1989, George Lucas made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And we're 2 years shy of the explosion of the EU in 89.
Yep.
Because the original movies, he made his money because he was an independent filmmaker, essentially.
Yep.
And then he merchandising. And then all the kids, we kept buying the stuff. We kept watching it. The movies, we're buying VHSs now. We're talking about it. Conventions, it's a thing. Everybody loves it. Role-playing games, tabletop games, video games start to be a thing. People are buying it. And then 1991, you have the expanded universe. And then it goes to a whole nother level. And he makes billions of dollars because he creates Lucas Arts. He funds his own video games and makes money. He's not Disney just getting a little bit of a license fee, and where EA and everybody else makes all the money, whatever money they do make on this shit. There is no money here.
Well, as much as we don't like the special editions and the Disney editions of the
I like the special editions.
I don't really like special editions either. Yeah.
But as much as those have issues, they still made a godless amount of money. Imagine in a couple years now, we're almost at the 10-year anniversary of Force Awakens. Imagine they came out with the special edition of Force Awakens. Who would buy that? How much money would that make?
Suggs, he'd buy it.
Yeah, but the original trilogy remasters, special editions, and whatnot all made a godless amount of money. They did very well.
But guys, the sequel trilogy is going to be more appreciated in the prequel trilogy.
No, it's not.
Years.
That's laughable.
That's the thing they're pushing.
So many issues, but at least they were fun.
Yeah. I enjoy them, and Jen and I will be talking about them in May because it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars Day coming up on May 25th, and we're going to do the prequel trilogy this year. Like we did OT last year. This year we did PT, and no, we will never do the sequel trilogy. That ain't happening. But you look at this stuff
solo on the real Star Wars. On the fake Star Wars Day that they have.
You're not even going to be here. You're not even going to be here. So I don't have to do anything. I could go maybe buy Empire at War for $3 on Steam, which I might.
Ooh, Empire at War. Ooh, that's a good game.
I haven't had that game in over a decade.
I still got the discs, Adam. I still got the discs.
Yeah, that's a good look. I might get it because it's always on sale, and if it's like for $4 or $5, I might actually get it this year. I might do it.
Ooh, that might be worth my time.
Well, that's a streaming game right there. That's a fun one.
Ooh, I agree.
Yeah, that's good. I never played the expansion.
I got the whole stack disc.
Yeah, because I always wanted to because I know they let you build the executor.
Yeah, the gold expansion. The gold expansion that you build.
Yeah, but the one on Steam now, it's all of it. It's the whole thing. So
I'm sure now it's
I might get it this year because
that's
fun. Yeah. So, but that's right there. To go back to what we talked about being stream, that's longevity. That's lasting. A LucasArts game that was brilliant, that had elements of the EU in it, but George hated the EU. Then why did they put Mara Jade in the game? Then why did they have Mara Jade in that game, huh?
Sure did.
I don't know.
Ooh.
failure.
Oh, what was that? Galactic Battlegrounds.
Oh, that was a good one. That was the RTS one. I played. I tried to make levels out of that. I spent a month building levels because I tried to create an EU storyline for it. I worked actually really hard on that. I just couldn't get the flags down how to make that work. That was a good one. That was a fun one.
That was a good game.
Now, it seems like you guys know the Star Wars games from back in the day.
Yeah.
Did none of them have female protagonists, as a certain article recently claimed?
I don't know if I mean, Bastila was there. And when you played Super Star Wars in Super Return of Jedi, you could be Leia in Super Return of Jedi.
There's the 99 Empire game I saw that had a female protagonist.
Yeah, that one I believe. Yeah.
Sith game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but no, Ray's and bent nosed Ma'am Solo. She's the first ever.
She's the first ever.
Yeah.
I hated seeing the Disney stands using Battlefront 2 as their reason to counteract that argument. It's like don't ever use that campaign.
Wait, to Iden Versio? I actually liked her. She was a good.
There's a lot of weird with them. I stumbled upon a stand debate on X Twitter where we disregard the Holdo maneuver as complete bullshit. But their debate was the shields would have held up against the Holdo maneuver.
Who shields?
On that weird Star Destroyer that they were flying that she rammed into. That was an actual stand debate I saw on X Twitter that the shields would have held up against the Holdo maneuver.
No, it wouldn't.
If we accept its existence, if we accept its legitimacy that it's a thing that can actually happen, no way. But anyway, so this is the end. There is no, and the stands have run from this article. They don't want to talk about this article.
No,
they want to know it exists. And the article is actually positive by the end. It does some water carrying, saying, "Oh, look, the Mouse of Houses recovered. Bad Batch and this." It's not a hit piece. It just has numbers that help us make our point. And the thing is, they're out of room to defend this. They're just done. They can pretend all they want that they like it. When I don't even think they really like it. I think they just pretend to like it, most of them. But they're out of room. The runway's done. It's a failure. They will never make the repurchase cost for this. And this just feeds my argument that there will come a time when Disney's going to try and sell Lucasfilm to recoup their losses of no money made. And real quick, she was a character in there in Empire War. I remember her.
Yeah,
you could
absolutely. She had a campaign.
Yeah,
it was a Thrawn campaign, if memory serves me.
I just remember her in the base game. Maybe it might have been the expansion. I
believe she was in a Thrawn campaign.
And I got really sad because that's right around the time when Sacrifice was published, and I was all sad. I'm like, Mara. No.
Yeah.
So
I gotta go back and play that. Adam. Okay. All right. I know what I'm doing on that day. I'm downloading Empire War. Holy crap.
If it's on sale, I'm not buying any other Star Wars. I've bought every other Star Wars game that's worth my money from the sales, and that's the only one left.
Yeah, because I know I have the discs, but why would I do that?
What takes a disc anymore?
Yeah, I mean, no, like my tank still has a disc drive, but
okay.
At the same time, like, yo, do I really want to pop in 3 discs so I can install the whole game?
Yeah, and I bet there are some good mods out there too for as well.
Without question. Anyway, good people. I got to bounce.
Yeah, Drake. Yeah. Pimp your stuff.
I got to bounce. It's been great hanging with you, gentlemen. Hit me up on Twitter at TheBrute00. If everybody that's there, shout out to the chat. You all have been fantastic. Subscribe to Brutal Clan Comics. This week, Monday, whatever news is dropping in the streets. Wednesdays will hopefully. Oh, right, I have oral surgery on Tuesday. Hopefully, I'm well enough on Wednesday to make my review of X-Men 97 episode 7. That will drop on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Friday, whatever the devil else is happening. So definitely check me out. You guys have been fantastic. Always great hanging out with you guys.
Velma.
I hate myself, but not that. Wait. Is that Friday? Is Knuckles? Knuckles comes out on Friday. I will be watching. Yeah, Knuckles comes out on Friday.
I'm playing Stellar Blade on Friday, so
I might be making a review on Knuckles. Depends. All right.
All right.
You guys been
Later.
great. Love you guys. I'm gonna catch y'all.
All right,
Bye,
take
Jack.
it easy, man.
All right, and then there was just us. It's just us.
And then there were two.
But we're done. We got through the Star Wars thing. Although I do want to note real quick. Oh, did I already kill the window? Damn it! I do want to note the stock is down to $113, $112. It has only gone down since the proxy wars end. Just a note. Hasn't recovered. Not at all. Anyway, we are done, guys. We have covered all the topics. Told you it was a packed one. Jed, what you got coming up this week?
Just normal scheduled videos and live streams. You can find me at YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar. Probably going to be playing some Helldivers 2 at some point this week with Fear the Beardo and that crew over there. But besides that, tune into my channel and Adam's this Saturday for Saturday Night Drive-In. But Adam will get to that when it's his turn.
Yes. All right. As for myself, Get Ranked is not tonight. I will be on the next Get Ranked, but Devil pushed it off to next weekend. When I am on it, it'll be Golden Age Faces from wrestling. So that's next weekend. But because there's no Get Ranked tonight, I will be playing Final Fantasy 14. If some of the other boys get on that are trying to get started, I'll go live and I'll be helping the guys get set up, this and that, as we try to get their feet wet and get them going. I'm having a great time playing the previous expansion, getting ready for the new expansion in June. Tomorrow is Monday, which means Mellow Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will go over stuff. I will attempt to put a show together and attempt to have nerd out discussions. I have one thing I'm going to bring up when Samuel joins us later at the back half of the show that should generate a good nerd discussion. So there's that. Rest of the week, as I mentioned, Velma Season 2 drops this week. That's drop. Good.
I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
They've had visual marketing put out on social media. That's about it. No,
they haven't done a trailer.
I haven't seen one.
That is not a good sign, people.
Yeah. Now remember, people who are upset, how did it possibly get Season 2? It was already made. It was done. It was part of the original deal. That's how this stuff works. So I will watch it all, and you get one video on Velma.
But you're glad this is the binge.
This is a binge I'm glad for. Although if it had been weekly, fine. I would have done weekly. I would have.
I just don't think people care enough. Like when Velma first came out, there was so much anger.
That's why I'm gonna do I guarantee I'm gonna try to keep my video under 20 minutes when I do it. I'm gonna try and keep it under just.
It sucked. It was super gay. That's it.
I'll point out the worst things is what I'll probably do and all the agenda crap. That's it. So we got Velma this week. Stellar Blade on Friday. Stellar Blade. I will be picking it up late in the afternoon. So if we're on Renaissance Nerd Arcade, we'll be streaming it there. Probably not until after FNT and before Ballbuster. So there'll be a little window where I'll get started. So we'll probably do it there. And then I'll play it throughout the weekend as we get through it, have some fun with it, while hopefully maybe getting Final Fantasy 14 going. Natural 20 may or may not happen. It all depends if I have things I can fit it in there. And then, Jed, what are we doing for Saturday Night Drive-In this weekend?
We are doing an 80s classic based on a book with young Ian McKellen where he had his normal black hair. This is the only movie I've ever seen him in that he was that young, besides Shakespeare Plays, of course. We are going to be reviewing The Scarlet Pimpernel from 1982.
Yes. Also starring a very young and sultry Jane Seymour.
Hell yeah.
So that should be a fun one. And then we'll be right back here next week for another roundtable where I'm sure things will happen. I'll probably cry about Velma at least. And I'm sure listen, the internet provides. It always provides. And we're coming up on review season. A lot of stuff to review and talk about in coming weeks. So stay tuned for that stuff. And as always, thank you, chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you for your support. Hit that like button. Subscriptions in the links. I'm done. Links in the description below. And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody. Until next time.